FM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Here we go. Tonight, the Cowboys play again. They'll take on the Lions in Detroit in a game that has two teams desperate to keep their playoff hopes alive. Kickoff is set for 7:15. You can catch the Cowboys broadcast on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6, while the national broadcast is on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM beginning at 6:30. Tyler Guyton, Trayvon Diggs are out for the Cowboys.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Cowboys game day, and there's no better place to be than the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road, that's where we are. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and I'm fired up about tonight's game.
Dude, it almost feels like a playoff game, and in so many ways for both of these teams, it is. And you look at big game, Thursday night football, no better place to be than at the Roo Pub. And the magnitude of this game, and we said when the Cowboys had the stretch of Philly, Kansas City, and Detroit, they win 2 or 3, they're going to be okay. Well, they won 2. And why not go get the third? And the way they are playing coming into this game, you go back even to the Las Vegas game. Well, it was Vegas. They're playing great football right now. Tonight's going to be a hell of a football game.
Well, now that they've won 2, it'll piss you off if they lose tonight.
Well, it will.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though we wanted 2 out of 3, you get those first 2, and you lose the third. That kind of sucks.
I mean, you get greedy, and, you're as good as your last game. And you look at the matchup tonight, and to think when we scheduled this back in August or whenever we did, the NFL schedule comes out. All right, Thursday night, standalone game. We're going to be somewhere. We're going to be at the Roo Pub because there's no better place to watch a game. But I think we all looked at them and just hope they don't get killed in that one, right? Yet here we are, and the schedule makers, the script writers that put all this stuff together, you couldn't ask for a better primetime game. It doesn't always work out that way. I'm sure when the NFL schedule makers put together their game for Monday night, they thought that was going to be a hell of a football game, except Washington has remembered who they are, and they're playing that way. And granted, their quarterback is broke. So the fact that it's worked out, will it live up to the billing? And you look at the way both these teams play, and Dan Campbell and his love for the Dallas Cowboys. Sarcasm, can you tell? I think it's going to be a blast tonight.
I think it is as well. You're right. We're calling it a quasi-playoff game yesterday, and I think that's the case. I think whoever loses this thing, their playoff chances obviously go in the toilet.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, I'm telling you, it's not going to be looking good unless, of course, you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're looking up at an Eagles collapse again, and that could very well be. Jalen Carter not going to play for them on Monday night against the LA Chargers, whatever the hell they are these days. The Chargers. So certainly going to hurt them. But this is a big one tonight. And the Detroit Lions banged up. They are banged up. The Cowboys go in relatively healthy, although no Diggs, no Tyler Guyton. But I'm not sure anybody's crying over Tyler Guyton not playing.
I mean, other than depth. And you hate to say that about a first-round guy, but at this point, all right, I mean, next man up, and Nate Thomas has played extremely well. When Tyler Guyton had 2 functioning ankles, and there was questions where, Terrence Steele, when he was dealing with the migraines, could Nate Thomas take his job? And if you remember, I said, Terrence Steele isn't playing awful. He ain't great, but he ain't awful. I would rather see Terrence Steele get some Tylenol, take care of the migraines, and have Nate Thomas replace Tyler Guyton. And again, we've seen that. He does well. And the question really becomes tonight, how well can they run the ball against Detroit? but the passing attack is going to be so key, and what kind of coverage you're going to see from Detroit.
Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to your Tyler Guyton take, because surely the soon-to-be executive of the year didn't miss out on another number 1 draft pick, did he? I mean, come on. That can't happen.
I mean, it can, but Joe, as he will tell you, it could take a couple of years before he really comes around.
Well, that's true. It's he's got to go through this year and next, and then we'll decide. And he may go the way of Mozzie Smith, but hey, Jerry's on a roll. And if they win this thing tonight, I guarantee you that executive of the year talk's going to be pumped up, pump up the volume.
It will, and you know how he could actually cement that trophy is to get George Pickens signed, and he keeps talking a good game, like we want to do this drama free, which is not the Cowboy way. We all that. I mean, I don't know. If the Cowboys win this game tonight, Jerry won't need a plane to fly home. He'll be high and just get there. And maybe you pull George aside and say, you ride with me today, and let's take you on the private jet. They're really cool when you get to go on a private jet. And when we're on this private jet, we're going to sign a contract. Arm wrestle all the way from Detroit to Dallas and just get that deal done.
Okay, well, let's not do that, because the last time Jerry and the players sat down together, they had a contract in or at least Jerry thought so, and it didn't work out too well.
Bring the agent, put him in the luggage compartment.
You got to do that. So I don't know if Pickens' agent is at the game tonight, but if he is, take him along and let him go. But it would. Can you imagine going into next year with no drama? I can't even imagine what it would be like at training camp without talking about somebody not signed. Are they going to sign? When's he going to sign?
I mean, we'll have somebody, and I would much rather be Brandon Aubrey than George Pickens. And again, I think some of that, Jerry as a leader understands what motivates his personnel. We all heard
money.
Besides money.
Okay.
I mean, they're all rich.
Yeah.
And he's going to be rich. But one of the scary parts about George Pickens was his attitude, his maturity level. Was he a good teammate? Remember all those things that we heard about prior to the trade getting done or immediately when the trade was completed. I remember we had Brooke Pryor on the Blitz as soon as that trade happened.
Yeah.
Brooke works for ESPN, and she covers the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I love the fact that she called out Mike Florio today. That was great.
Too.
But that interview, what kind of teammate is he? They weren't glowing reports, right? And there was concern about what the Cowboys were getting. And he has been anything but his reputation. And you see the way the Cowboys are using him. And while there's talk about Mike Tomlin having to move on, I mean, George Pickens is the first guy that's been let go by Pittsburgh that has had success anywhere else. And look, it can happen. When it happened, we talked about should they sign him immediately. But the hesitation of, do we really want this guy long term? I think at this point, you've dated long enough. Get that paper there, and I could see Jerry knowing the personality that he needs to approach this drama-free. Good for the locker room, good for the player, and let somebody else twist in the wind like Brandon Aubrey. And if that's our drama, then I can deal with that because I know it's the Cowboys. There'll be drama of some kind.
There will be. There's a Tyler Smith that might have a little drama attached to him, too, when we get there. But I digress. Look, I love the way George Pickens has been. The guy has been the best wide receiver on the roster. There's no question about it. I don't care what anybody says. He's been the best wide receiver on this Cowboys roster. Having said that, he's a perfect citizen. He wants a contract. Will that change? And I think that scares everybody a little bit. Once he gets paid, will that change?
All right, let me ask you this. And I'm asking you, Joe, but also you driving around in your car right now, wherever you're listening. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Or comment on YouTube. Do you think Jerry can learn from past issues? Because Jerry wanted to see more maturity and leadership out of Micah Parsons before signing him to a deal like that. Do you think he's had any kind of conversation like that with George Pickens because of the reputation that George showed up with? Because you're right. You might get that money and you're great in the contract year, and does he revert back? But also, one of the things that you just can't change some personality traits. When things weren't going well for this Cowboy team, you did not see the outbursts on the sideline. And you can't say, well, he's in a contract year, he knows better, because in those emotional settings, that's when people tend to lose their cool. They might say all the right things after when they realize, and when you're winning, all those warts get covered up. But the early part of this season, when things weren't going well for the Cowboys, George Pickens was great on the field, no weird outbursts on the sideline, and by all accounts, great in that locker room.
We'll see what happens, and nobody will know until it actually happens. And then where do we go from there? My question is going to be, if you're going to pay this guy, is he going to make more than CD Lamb? At this point in time, he's a better wide receiver than CD Lamb. I mean, let's face the facts. He has been better than CD, and CD's been pretty good this year for the most part. So he's going to want more money. Will the Cowboys be willing to do that, or is he going to look elsewhere? And will there be that drama when Jerry tries to stick a franchise tag on this young man?
Well, and again, Jerry could put the franchise tag on him. That is certainly a possibility. Although I don't know, based on some reporting from Spotrac, if he'll actually make more money than CeeDee Lamb. Spotrac says that George Pickens' recent surge has elevated his baseline market valuation in their system to $31.25 million a year. So he could get a 4-year, $125 million contract extension. Now, I don't know what those guarantees would end up being, but that's less money than what CeeDee Lamb is getting, and probably in line with where George Pickens is, especially on a team where you're 1-1A, and again, he's playing better. He's got better stats, but he's played more games. But I think both of those guys feed well off of each other. And the way Brian Schottenheimer is using George Pickens compared to the way he was used in Pittsburgh.
We'll see what happens. The drama is still there for the taking, and I'm here for it if that happens, for sure. But lots going on. We're going to talk a lot of Dallas Cowboys football, obviously, as we get you ready for what is a quasi-playoff game tonight in Detroit. The Lions taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and it should be a dandy. I don't know if you saw, and I think you did, we talked a little bit about it. It's cold as hell in Detroit. And they're all fortunate they're playing inside.
Every reporter, including one Jane Slater, who tweeted that, I am glad this game is indoors.
No question about it. I'm sure the players are as well when it comes down to that. Let's talk some football because, we've got some injury updates to update you on. And then we'll tell you about the Cowboys and what the heck they're going to do. One talking head on ESPN, former NFL player, says this should be Dak's MVP night.
Woo!
Tell you what he means when we continue live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thursday night at 7:15. The Cowboys are in the Motor City, taking on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. Pre-game at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Calling all Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. Game day isn't complete without the right look, and the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has everything you need. Whether you're headed to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. Find game day staples like jerseys and hats to fan favorites like hoodies and jackets at any of our 4 convenient locations: River Center, North Star Mall, Ingram Park Mall, and Huebner Oak Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear only at the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop.
Last year, we bought over 54,000 cars from your friends and neighbors. Why did they sell us their cars? Because we pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com. And why do we pay more? Because you and I both know that your car is worth more than others will offer you. And your time is worth more too. I'm John Clay Wolf, and I created GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell me your car faster and hassle-free because you're worth more.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
There's one name in roofing that stands high above the rest: Stevens Roofing. A quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort, confidence, and peace of mind. It's protection for all the things you love. And during this holiday season, Stevens Roofing would like to thank all the first responders and military service members for the protection and peace of mind they provide. So for all your roofing needs, commercial or residential, remember Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net. Happy holidays from Stevens Roofing.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. And people say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
By texting 24700, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from J.Crew Factory. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at jcrew.com.
At J.Crew Factory, we think shopping should be fun, really fun, as in scoring our exclusive collection of classic styles for the whole family at prices that can't be beat. And today, save even more. Just text GIFTING to 24700 to receive an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more at your nearest J.Crew Factory store. This holiday season, discover perfect presents for you and your crew. Shop cozy matching pajamas, toasty sweaters, amazing outerwear, festive accessories, and so much more. Get in the spirit at J.Crew Factory, where we have incredible deals every single day. Visit jcrewfactory.com to find your nearest San Antonio area store today. But first, get an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more when you text GIFTING to 24700. Text GIFTING to 24700 to get your $25 off coupon. That's GIFTING to 24700. See a store associate for details.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. How'd the Cowboys look on Thursday Night Football?
Oh, so many ramifications for a huge game, but that's just the beginning of a championship weekend. We'll get you ready for all the games and the Spurs, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, and I tell you, as we get closer to game time, the more excited I get. I am really fired up for this game tonight, a quasi-playoff game. Both teams need to win it. Dallas, Detroit, and there's no better place to watch it than where we are right now, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. You need to get on down here. I tell you what, folks are already scouting out tables, getting ready. This place is going to be lit tonight.
It really is. And again, no better place to watch any big game, any big event than the Roo. Gabe is here with his laptop. There's a whole group of guys. They've been here since lunch. They say they got to go pick up kids from daycare in a little while. They're not going to make it.
No, they're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it. They're not, because you do have Thursday night football tonight, which makes sure you get in and get your picks in the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge at sasportstar.com. Weekly winners get that $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom at the end of the year. The local grand prize winner gets $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets.
I got my picks in. You got yours in?
I do.
All right.
I do. And as we were talking during the break, because Gabe complimented me on my Cowboys hoodie that was a Christmas gift from my mother last year, one of the salute to service. And then you were like, well, what about me? And you're like, I got a lion on my shirt. Which tells me you probably need to get yourself an annual pass at the zoo to understand animals. That's a puma, sir.
Well, they're related.
It's close.
They're related.
Are they related?
Aren't they?
Are they?
I would think so. They're cats.
All right.
They're in the cat family.
Are all cats related?
I think they are in some form or fashion.
So you're going for the Lions tonight. Which actually every Cowboy fan is hoping you're going to say that. Every Cowboy fan out there is hoping that you're going to put your money on Detroit and not Dallas.
Well, I can't remember who I picked in the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, but I'll go look here in just a minute. But everybody on the planet is picking the Dallas Cowboys tonight. I have not heard one person pick Detroit tonight. It's all Dallas, and that scares the hell out of me.
Well, and it should, but again, also I realize, maybe you're just in a small bubble, because watching TV this morning, there were a couple Lions picks on there, and you look at some of the other places that do picks. It is heavy Dallas, because they're playing really good football right now, and the Lions are beat up now. They are likely going to be without Amon-Ra St. Brown. And after that ankle injury, I last week on Thanksgiving, I'm surprised he's even questionable for tonight. But they say he will be a game-time decision, but some are reporting he's unlikely to play, but he'll be a game-time decision. But let's face it, that was a gruesome-looking injury. So even if he's out there, how effective is he going to be? And again, if he's playing, he might have a shot, not even feel his foot. Who knows?
That's exactly right.
But I do know he might make catches, but what will his run after the catch be if he's got a bad wheel?
Well, that's true, but does it matter? I mean, if he's out there, he commands respect.
Yeah.
And that will help the Lions. So either way, whether he does anything or not, as long as he's out there, Cowboys have to respect him. And so takes away maybe something that they can do. If not, they got one speedy receiver that they can go to. And then the guy that I think the Cowboys are going to have to worry about most is Gibbs.
Yeah.
Because not only can he run the football, but he's pretty good out of the backfield catching it as well.
And then, of course, in David Montgomery and the way they're able to run the ball. What's incredible, though, is how much better that run defense has been since they traded for Quinnen Williams. And you look at Kenny Clark and Oso Odigizua, but they have gotten a lot better at stopping the run. Now, it's one thing against the Raiders and their rookie that they don't give the ball to. It's another to hold Saquon Barkley in check.
Sure.
And they were able to do that. We'll see. I do expect Gibbs to have a big game tonight. I think it's going to be a fun game. But I'll tell you, a guy that generally is on the Lions. Now, he was more with the Lions when Stafford was there, but, Dan Orlovsky, is most remembered for his bonehead play with the Detroit Lions, and he tends to go with the Lions. But Orlovsky said this morning on Get Up, this could be and should be Dak's MVP moment.
I mean, Dallas, I would try to win Dak the MVP tonight if I was Dallas.
Ooh.
If Detroit wants to line up and play man coverage,
which they have, last 3 games, 70% man coverage.
I'm going to throw 40 times. You cannot cover my 2 guys.
Whoa.
And I'm totally comfortable. I'll put George by himself. I'll put CD opposite. You want to cover George one-on-one? Great. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL one-on-one versus man. if you want to double team them or play, I'm going to throw it to CD Lamb. I think it'll be interesting. I think the most important person tonight is Kelvin Shepard, who's the DC for Detroit. You can't line up and play man. Will you change? Will you play some zone? I would challenge Dallas to run the football and then try to play elite red zone defense. Does Brian Schottenheimer want to hand it off 40 times? I'm not letting you throw it that much if I'm Detroit. But if Detroit wants to line up and be who they are, I'm gonna throw it 40 times because you can't cover me.
No, that was Orlovsky. He said something similar on Get Up, but to be accurate, Pledge tells me that was actually from Unsportsmanlike. But, he did a very similar thing with video on Get Up. And here's the thing. I agree with everything Dan Orlovsky said except 40 passes. Cap him at 39. We all know what Dak Prescott's record is when he attempts 40 passers or more. Cap that dude at 39, but they would and should run the ball tonight with Javonte Williams.
I will agree with him, though. It's going to be very difficult. Whoever you leave one-on-one, whether that's Pickens or CD Lamb, choose your poison there. At this point in time, I think I'm doubling Pickens and take my chances with CD. And I say that only granted, CD can still hurt you, especially one-on-one, but George Pickens is just about uncoverable if you're just covering him one-on-one.
It's interesting because I think Thanksgiving Day is a prime example. In the first half, Pickens was on a milk carton. He had, 2 catches?
Yeah.
Not a lot of targets because Kansas City doubled him, and CD was going off. Then they shifted the coverage, and that's when Pickens came alive big time in the second half. Trust me, he's on my fantasy team. I was really disappointed with this first half showing, but that's because Kansas City was doubling him, trying to take him away, and CD had that great first half, and then they made adjustments, and Dak just went the other way. And I think that is one of the areas that I think Orlovsky is kind of hinting at. You can double these guys or single, but you have to have the right quarterback making the read and then making the throw. And Dak has been great at that. And if somehow you're able to kind of adjust your coverage to somehow try to take 1.5 away, if you will, Ferguson is going to crush you. Or Turpin. And let's face it, Turpin hasn't had the impact in the offense that we thought he might, except for his play the other day, recovering that George Pickens fumble late, saved the game for the Cowboys. And his hustle and his awareness of following the ball, I do think Schottenheimer will try to get Turpin more involved offensively, especially just to try to loosen up the coverage that Pickens or CD are going to get.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You got those guys, I'm feeding them, and I don't care what it is. I don't think you can take both of them away. Maybe you take one away, like you said, for a half, the other for the other half, whatever it is. Detroit's defense has been spotty. There are times when they look really good, and there are other times when they just don't. And so it depends on what defense we're going to get tonight from the Detroit Lions. Aiden Hutchinson has been double-teamed all season long, and he's really been a non-factor, and they don't have another guy that can put pressure on Dak Prescott or anybody else for that matter. So it's going to be interesting to see. What I think Detroit's going to try and do, whether they can do it or not remains to be seen, is run the football and try to keep Dak and company on the sideline. If they can somehow get some long drives and run the ball and eat up some clock that way, I think that's going to be more of their game plan tonight than trying to put a lot of points on the board.
And again, I think some of that, that's what's fascinating about this game, because I agree. Detroit's got the running ability to control the clock and the time of possession. So does Dallas. And when you think about if it gets to be in a shootout, especially if they don't have St. Brown, are they going to be able to keep up? And, can Dak, when we've seen the Cowboys offense score quickly, we've seen them bog down just like everybody else. But if they're able to get positive yards on first down, that opens up everything. It's kind of like the Chiefs game. What was it? The final 3 minutes, the Cowboys were able to run out the clock. When was the last time you saw that? I mean, normally you see the Cowboys with 3 minutes, you're like, oh, crap. Yeah, they're going to go 3 and out. They're going to punt. And then we got to rely on the defense, and the defense won't stop anybody. And that was this year's team. But with the additions that Jerry was able to make,
executive of the year,
and I set you up, Nice home run off the tee. And getting a guy like Overshone healthy, getting Siobhan Ravel, who has been more impressive than I think any of us thought he would be. But with Ravel playing corner, you got Bland kind of that nickel, which is where he's excels at. That overall defense has just gotten better that maybe to a degree you can rely on these dudes to get a stop when needed.
Absolutely, I think you can, and I think Quentin Williams has made a huge difference on that defense. He's opened up a lot of things for a lot of other people. That defense is so much better than it was just 4 games ago. So, again, I'm looking forward to this game. Now, keep in mind, Jadeveon Clowney, Malik Hooker, both questionable for tonight's game. We've already ruled out Tyler Guyton and Trayvon Diggs. If you lose a Hooker, that could make a difference. It certainly could, and a Jadeveon Clowney for that matter. He's been pretty damn good on that defensive line.
He really has, but with them being
every day.
And again, and you look at Clowney, the fact that they both are questionable, like I see them both, I would be surprised if they didn't play. But for Clowney, it's going to be on a pitch count, on certain downs, because he's dealing with a hammy. But he hadn't been ruled out, so we'll see. I thought we might see Diggs tonight. Looks like that's going to be another week for Diggs, and we'll go from there. It should be a lot of fun, but offensively, I still. The Cowboys just have to score around 30 or north of 30. And if they can do that, and Pickens has to have another one of those games. Let's talk about George Pickens, or at least Gary does. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Gary.
Good call, Gary. Good call. Good job.
Nice.
Way to fumble, Gary. Yeah, you get it all the way down into the red zone, and then we go to you and you drop it.
Fumble the ball right there, and Detroit takes over just like that. Bam. Oh my goodness. Hey, let me tell you who didn't fumble the ball last night. Luke Cornett.
Whew.
How about that block? Oh my goodness, what a game it was. The Spurs have now won 2 games in a matter of 48 hours, and they're just hotter than hot right now. We're talking Spurs basketball when we continue live from the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road. Get on down here and come see us. Start your weekend early. Why not? Big football game here tonight, and there's no better place to watch it. Get on down to the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Cowboys Lions tonight. You want to have a little bit more fun, add some excitement to watching tonight. Make sure you're playing along on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action and make your picks and win money in Texas right now is on Underdog, and it's easy. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on stats. Now, I'm looking at my Underdog app right now, and they've got a 40% profit boost. George Pickens, we've been talking a lot about him. Would you go higher or lower? 82.5 yards. Dak Prescott, 1.5 touchdown passes. Would you go higher or lower? What about Jake Bates? 2.5 extra points. That means Lions scoring 3 touchdowns. Would you go higher? Would you go lower? Make your pick-em entry and get all your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with promo code STAR to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Ticket. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero College Football Post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Discover the newest place to play at Top Golf New Braunfels. Opening this Friday, December 5th at 427 Creekside Way in the New Braunfels Town Center at Creekside. This no golf knowledge needed experience is for everyone and is all about bringing more play and more fun to the players. Top Golf New Braunfels will feature new games, new food and drink, a 9-hole mini golf course, and half-off gameplay every Monday through Thursday. Join the Blitz live Monday, December 8th from 2 to 6 for all your Monday night football action. Come play around at Top Golf New Braunfels.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Join the Blitz this Friday at the Rocket Lock on Terra for your chance to win some Spurs tickets.
When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. Win or lose, Superior is worth paying for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, Superior like beer.
Black to inbound it. Looking. Black goes to the rim. Wagner had time. And Cornette sends it out at the buzzer. And the Spurs escape Orlando with a dub as they mob Cornette.
Luke Cornette comes out of absolutely nowhere, blocks the shot. Spurs escape Orlando with a win. And my goodness, what a win it was. The pose from Cornette afterwards. I can't even do it. He was
Usain
fantastic.
Bolt, man. It was that.
It was fantastic.
You know, it was. I mean, the celebration was there, and I'm a little disappointed in the media. Afterwards, nobody asked him about the pose. They just asked him about the block.
Yeah, I mean, we were just obviously trying to not allow any threes and then trying to, make a tough catch for two. I was just kind of on the weak side and saw the pass go to Wagner and just try to make a play. And fortunately, he had to kind of like spin back. I feel like if he would have had just to be able to straighten him up, I would have been able to get there. But fortunately, I was able to get there and make the block.
Dude, I tell you what, it was a great block. And again, he comes out of nowhere. I'm watching that game going, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fantastic. It was an amazing block and a great win for the San Antonio Spurs last night.
They are now 7-2 this season without Vic. That is impressive and surprising at the same time.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But, this team, we've been talking about it. They've got a lot of depth and a lot of guys that are playing well right now. And it depends on the night. The other night it was Harrison Barnes. De'Aaron Fox is playing well. Then you'll get Devin Vassell hitting some shots and Keldon Johnson. So it's somebody different, it seems like, just about every single night. And that's great to see.
But for them to play a back-to-back and they had a lead at the end of the first quarter, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. I thought that would be one of those games where you start slow and then you get going. That fourth quarter, all of it was there. But even De'Aaron Fox afterwards, just talked about what you can learn about your team in a game like what they saw last night against Orlando.
Definitely. I mean, this is a game that you can look back at the end of the year, especially in this conference. You could be the 3rd seed or you could be the 8th seed. You could be 3, 4, maybe 5 games separates the teams. And it's games like this where you come back at the end of the year and you're like, could we have won this game? Could we have beat this team? And Orlando's playing extremely well, won 9 out of their last 11. But we come in this building, we're a majority of the game, and then they end up tying the game at the end. And you're like, wow, we could have, we were up, I think, like between like 8 and 15 throughout the entire game. We couldn't get to 20, and they weren't, but we also weren't giving up the lead. So these are the type of games that you look at, and we call them mature wins, because we could have easily came in here second night of a back-to-back, getting in at 4 a.m. and just lost this game. But it definitely shows how resilient this team is, and we're continuing to build and trying to move forward.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and that's impressive right there, right? They got it at 4 a.m. They had to leave San Antonio, fly to Orlando, 4 a.m., not much sleep. They get out and they play the way they do. And really the lead the entire game, as De'Aaron just said, and, tried to blow it there at the end, but the heroics of one Luke Cornett saved the day.
The idea that their largest lead was 15, and when that thing started to slip away, I don't know that I've heard that term before, a mature win. and again, maybe it's just because this team has had so many damn kids on it for so long. I mean, they're at 15 wins already. And Jordan Howenstein, who does Spurs PR work, put out a tweet about, the last several years, how many games it took them to get to 15 wins. And, 2 years ago, it was 68 games because they weren't a mature team. This is turning into a mature team where they've got mature leaders like a De'Aaron Fox. And again, that was a game last year that would have been a loss, and maybe a loss by double digits, even though they were up 15. And even Mitch Johnson talked about how they learn about each other and about this team with every game.
I think I think we're learning about ourselves every day now. We haven't been together long, and so all these experiences, good and bad and in between, we're trying to not allow the result to carry the learning experience or the reaction in response to what's happened, even though that's hard to do because we're competitive and we want to win. But I think we're learning a lot every game out.
I don't think there's any question, and they've grown up quite a bit. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Minix, when you say it's that veteran leadership, which is what we've been calling for a couple of years. You get guys like Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox, guys that know what they're doing and know how to handle game situations. And you're seeing that now, and it's making a huge difference on this team. And, again, doing it all without Wemby, without Castle. You get those guys back, and who knows where this team goes.
Again, we just wanted them to tread water, right? Stay afloat when the injuries started to mount. And yet they're still finding ways to win, mature wins. And, when you get seasoned veterans with young guys, you get a lot of, obviously that leadership ability, but also I don't want to call it hazing because, that's frowned upon, but the practical jokes. And if you know Sean Elliott, he is a practical joker. And boy, did he get Jacob Toby during the pregame show.
I'm ready to go.
I don't think I'm going to do it.
I would love to see you do that. I might smell that and snort. I told you. That's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't want to do it.
That was the first time I've done that in my life.
Yeah, and that'll be the last time.
Yeah, that would be. Now, if you haven't seen the video, get out from underneath whatever rock you're in and go find the video of Jacob Toby, the Spurs play-by-play guy, doing smelling salts for the first time in his life.
Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah.
I've never done it.
Although I've never seen it in the contraption. I got to be honest. I'm watching the beginning of the game last night, and I thought the dude was hitting a vape right there on TV. I'm like, boy, times have changed, right? And then I realized, listening to him and Sean just laughing his ass off. The ones I've done are those little packet ones.
Why did you do it? Did you pass out or what?
Well, I remember one time in high school I got knocked out. It took 3 of those things to wake me up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've never done it and really have no desire to do it, especially after seeing Jacob and his reaction last night. So I'm good.
It almost reminded me of boot camp when you had to go through the gas chamber at boot camp. Now, for everybody military that's listening went through boot camp, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But at least for me, 1991 in Great Lakes, everybody had to have tricks for breakfast that morning, right? And we didn't know why, but the only thing available for breakfast was tricks. And then you go through and then you're in the gas chamber and you got to take your mask off and stay in there as long as you can before you go out. And then everybody throws up. And then our company commander wanted to see a rainbow. That's why we all had to have tricks. Watching Jacob Toby's reaction, it almost felt like, that dude just went through the gas chamber. I'm glad he could finish the broadcast.
But I tell you what, it was weird to see his reaction to that. And, and funny. Again, if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to find that and go see it. It is a funny reaction. Those guys have really developed a chemistry together. Yep. And they've look, with Sean Elliott, it's hard not to. And that's no disrespect to Jacob Toby. He's doing a great job. But Sean Elliott just makes things easy.
Yeah,
I mean, he really does. He makes it easy, and he's just such a pro that it's easy to work with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, willing to have fun. But there are certain things you do. You can't do things on the air like that without knowing how it's going to be. I mean, what if he wouldn't have been able to finish the job? I mean,
it was a pregame show.
It was the pregame show, but I mean, that stuff, he could have had snot coming out for hours.
That's the beauty of TV. You gotta take chances on TV like that.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. You do that, you get the reaction. That's what makes it funny. Everybody that was watching that was laughing their head off.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's what makes it good TV.
Uh-huh.
You gotta take chances.
So we'll get you some of that?
Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, we'll get you a ghost pepper and let you eat it live on the air?
I have done a ghost pepper challenge, yes.
Live on air?
No, it wasn't live on the air.
No.
I'm trying to think back in my many years of TV, goofy stuff I know I've done some goofy stuff. I'll think of it.
Nothing. No, you wouldn't do anything that would make you throw up or mess up your hair on television.
I would do it. I tell people all the time, I made a good living making a complete ass of myself many times.
You still are.
Well, of course.
Yes.
and it's nice. And so, when you can just make fun of yourself and make people laugh, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here for the people, Minix.
Uh-huh. Exactly. That it's exactly what it is. Now, the other big Spurs story today, I know it was off yesterday, and I know you covered it extensively. This Giannis potential trade situation. I don't want to get overly excited. I know there's a lot of people out there, Bill Simmons and others, that are thinking San Antonio could be the spot. And then you get all these people on social media. Well, these guys are all off limits. So, to get somebody like Giannis, you're going to have to give up something of value in return. And I still think, just based off last time when Giannis was deciding if he wanted to stay in Milwaukee, all accounts are that dude wants to live in New York. I think the NBA would love for him to be in New York. Pick a team. Knicks, Nets, doesn't matter. Just get him to the Big Apple. Does he want to come to San Antonio? Giannis holds all the cards here, doesn't he?
Of course he does.
Does he want San Antonio?
Well, that's interesting. I don't know the answer to that, but I would think if you got an opportunity to play with a young talent like Wemby, you would probably San Antonio would be attractive to you. But I'll be honest with you, Jason, and I was called a flip-flopper yesterday and everything. With the way this team is playing, the way they're playing right now, a good mix of veteran and youth, and the way they're playing right now, I'm not sure that I want to see that happen because it might cost an arm and a leg. It might not. But if you have to give up some of your young players, some of your draft capital, I'm just not sure that that's a needed piece to this puzzle.
Well, I mean, let's first off say, do we need it? I mean, can you imagine Wemby and Giannis playing together, right?
Incredible.
Never mind that he had a calf injury last night. But hold your breath on that. And yeah, you would want that. So what would you have to give up? Would it be a De'Aaron Fox trying to make contracts match? Would it be a Harper or a Castle? Not both. Can you keep most of your young core together, what you think you're going to build with, to add in a Giannis who is at 31 years old? How open is the window right now for the San Antonio Spurs? And the Spurs generally are overly cautious. They made that move for De'Aaron Fox. They committed it to De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox wanted it to come to San Antonio. But if De'Aaron Fox has to go to Milwaukee to get Giannis, we'll all help him pack.
Whoa.
Seriously.
Not all of us. No, seriously. I wouldn't. No.
So you would rather have De'Aaron Fox than Giannis?
I don't want to. Why is everybody in such a hurry to break this team up?
Well, again, we're not trying to break it up. We're trying to make it better. When you made the trade for De'Aaron Fox, you did not have any idea that you were going to get a Dylan Harper. Once you were drafting Dylan Harper, how guard heavy do we need to be? So one of those guys becomes very tradable when you're putting the puzzle pieces together. If you didn't have a Dylan Harper, would my thoughts on keeping De'Aaron Fox be very different? Yes, they would. Would I rather have, again, because you got to make salaries match, Dylan Harper still on a rookie deal. De'Aaron Fox just got paid. So you've got to figure out something expensive to be able to absorb and make the trade, right? And if they, whatever else they're going to want, and I think if you're Milwaukee, it's going to be a lot of those draft picks, and they've got a bunch of them. The Spurs have a ton of draft capital.
Here is what ESPN threw out earlier today in a trade for Giannis. Steph Castle, Harrison Barnes, Kelly Olynyk, Jordan McLaughlin. The 27 first-round pick that the Hawks have, 29 first-round pick, and the 2032 first-round pick. If that was the case and you keep De'Aaron Fox, no, I'd hate to give up Steph Castle, but that would be a trade that I would love to make.
And again, I know every Spurs general manager listening right now wants to keep all of our good pieces, right? But make it make sense for Milwaukee. Remember, they kind of hold the cards. Doesn't mean the Spurs have to say yes to whatever Milwaukee is asking for, but you are going to have to give up something of value. When you're putting stuff in the trade machine, make it make sense for Milwaukee. They're not going to get completely fleeced. Now, they've got a star player that wants out. And in San Antonio, we've dealt with having a star player that wanted out. And I think the Spurs got the best of the situation that they could. But was it fair? Probably not. But so Giannis, one, would have to want to come here. But the Spurs still have to make it make sense for Milwaukee.
Well, and that wasn't me throwing those players in there. That was ESPN throwing those players in there. So if you don't think that what I just said makes sense, then blame ESPN and not me. I just don't think at this point in time, and I know Oklahoma City is Oklahoma City, and they're a monster.
Yep.
They are. And you got to find some way to get past that monster. I just don't know if Giannis, as great a player as he is, and as the front court would be unbelievable, but if he is truly hurt again, and there are some out there that are saying perhaps not, perhaps he's just saying that maybe that's a calf strain and a trade is going to go down within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And that could very well be. But if he is hurt again, he's already missed 6 games this season already. If he's out another 2 to 4 weeks with this injury, if it's real, how confident are you that this man is not on a trend that he's going to continue to get hurt? You give up your future, and for a Giannis that isn't not exactly the Giannis of old, that's a problem, and it's a chance you would have to take.
No, but and it's all the roll of the dice. But also I look at, the Giannis that would be coming to San Antonio, hypothetically. It would remind me of when the Spurs drafted Tim Duncan. You had a David Robinson be willing to take that backseat role, be the 2A. If Giannis comes here, Giannis would be signaling, this is Wemby's team and I'm along for the ride. And again, by all accounts, I still think, based off of what happened last year, he wants to go to New York. And it feels like the NBA wants him to go to New York. But if he were to come here, Spurs would have to give up something of great value. It would hurt. It would be like, man, I hate to see him go, but then the excitement of getting Giannis would probably take care of that. Now, do they need him? Well, who doesn't need a Giannis? I still think the Spurs need to go find a more reliable three-point shooter. They still need that sharpshooter guy. And, with some of the people that are linked in, pick your ESPN, your Bleacher Report, your Yahoo, all the different trade scenarios. A lot of that outside shooting would be included in that deal, which would create another problem for the San Antonio Spurs.
It would. It wouldn't solve that at all. What it would do, though, is create a matchup nightmare for a lot of other teams. There's no doubt about it with that front court. Look, I just don't think at this point in time, with what this team has showed, with the depth that they have, being able to win games at a nice clip without 2 of your best players, Giannis would be great, and it would be awesome, and everybody would be excited about it. Keep in mind, he's 31 years old. How much more time does he have? In all honesty, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if he's injury prone. Having said all of that, I'm ready to ride with what they've got here. I think they've got the point guard and the leader of this team in place, the quarterback, if you will. Wemby's a concern, I'll be honest with you. His injury issues are something to watch. But you've got some pretty good young pieces there. And if you're going to go make a trade, let's go find that sharpshooter. I'd rather do that than give up a whole bunch of stuff for a guy who's a great player, obviously, who would be exciting for a couple of years here. Great. And then what?
Well, I mean, that's I just look at, if Giannis wants San Antonio, the Spurs have to have those conversations. We know the Spurs well enough to know they'll do all their due diligence and make a decision they think makes this team better. And we're wondering if it would make it worse by adding a Giannis. I don't think the Spurs would do that. But if Giannis wants San Antonio, you have to explore that. You have to. Well, and it would cost. It would cost.
I think with all the reports we're seeing, and there were a lot yesterday.
Yeah, a lot today.
And today as well, saying that they are interested and perhaps talking. But again, I just would be very hesitant at this point in time. It depends on what you want. You want a championship this year, perhaps, if not this year, next year?
Yes.
Fine. Or do you want to build a sustained team that they finally have some pieces that they've gone out and gotten, that they've tanked for, that they've done all that for, and you've got a team that you can run with for several years here? I just don't know. It would be harder than a lot of people out there. Certainly you would do it today. I would have to see what it is and how it would affect this team moving forward.
Going to be fun to follow for the next couple of weeks. I appreciate the NBA taking a page out of the NFL playbook and the Jerry Jones playbook. Let's get them talking about us on a day that the Cowboys are playing the Lions on Thursday Night Football. And keep in mind, what I see was at Chams earlier, December 15th is kind of that time frame when you start hearing about a lot of trade talks in the NBA. Guys that are, our team sucks. I don't want to be here anymore. Get me the hell out. Yeah, we're there with Giannis.
Well, and I don't blame Giannis. What has Milwaukee done for him? Nothing. They suck again this year. I don't blame Giannis for wanting to get the hell out of there. He got him a championship, and now, they're not doing much for him. And we are up against the clock. I have a serious question for you, Minix, when we come back. And I really don't know how to put this in a tease, to be totally honest with you. But,
wow. That is the tease. Just leave it there.
I leave it right there? Okay, I'll do that. I'm not sure how to put this, but everybody will have an opinion, I promise you. We're live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Bobo, how many affiliates do we have? 66. Do you think that's right, or are you guessing? When we pick them up, we move them, we drop them. They drop us. But we normally get kicked off. When we have a problem with the station, it's the first day.
We don't always get our show canceled, but when we do, it happens pretty quick.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The NBA season's rolling, and DraftKings' newest game, Pick 6, is the easiest way to play for your shot at big wins. NBA stars are lighting it up. Now their numbers aren't just highlights. They're your shot to cash in. Here's how it works. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Pick, play, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Blue Star Tequila
tequila, the world's first and only 100% night harvested agave. And you might be saying, well, why do I care when it's harvested? It allows the agave to be harvested while it's resting and out of the brutal heat. Benefits to workers who would normally work into the heat of the day. It's just better for the flavoring. And speaking of flavoring, it's 100% additive free. No flavoring, sweetening, or coloring added, and it's unfiltered. Live your life unfiltered and do it with Blue Star Tequila. Find Blue Star Tequila at Alamo City Liquors, Costco, Specs, and Total Wine.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big football game tonight. The Dallas Cowboys in Detroit to take on the Lions. It's a game that has two teams desperate to keep their playoff hopes alive. Kickoff set for 7:15. You can catch the Cowboys broadcast right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6 o'clock. National broadcast is on ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. They'll start at 6:30.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Oh, my goodness, we got a big football game tonight. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions in a quasi-playoff game for all intents and purposes. Should be a dandy. No better place to watch it than right here at the Roo Pub. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and here we go. We're an hour closer to kickoff.
We are. We're less than 4 hours away on our YouTube page. You can go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Frank says it's 3 o'clock. Time to start drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you should do it here at the Roo Pub. I have a bunch of people already in here at the Roo Pub, including a couple of off-duty San Antonio officers with their buckets of beer in front of them.
Yeah.
One of them's kind of a famous cop. You were giving him crap.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
He's famous, and I was asking the guy he's with if he's in better shape than him because some guys can't catch runaway kids.
You know, let's all go back. One of those great memories, although it was a bad game, but UTSA against Texas State, and there was that kid that was running on the field, and that cop that was running behind him. They couldn't catch the kid until the kid stopped running.
There he is.
He's got a bucket of beer right here. He's signing autographs all afternoon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's good to have them here. And I tell you what, this place is already people starting to find their seats. So if you're planning to come to the Roo Pub, you need to get down here as soon as you possibly can. Although there's not a bad seat in the house, to be honest with you. So it really doesn't matter. Screens all over the place, including the 3 giant ones right there over the bar.
Absolutely. Get on down here. Come hungry. And again, it's just got that. Well, one, it's cold outside.
It is.
But again, it's just, it's Thursday, primetime TV, and just such a big game. It's going to be fun. This is one where you want to hang out with a bunch of people and go. You certainly don't want to go home and potentially argue with your wife. Let's talk about it on the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Even the best of marriages. Do you argue with your spouse?
There's an argument or two, sure.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's money, whether it's staying out too late, what the hell are we going to watch on TV? What are we having for dinner? I mean, arguments happen, right?
There's degrees of arguments, right? Some are small, some maybe a little bit bigger.
And again, if you've been in a relationship for any length of time, that's just with your spouse. You work with somebody very closely. At some point, you're going to have arguments, right? That's part of it. Unless, of course, you're Travis Kelce and you're in a relationship with Taylor Swift.
You claim that you and your wife haven't gotten in a fight in 10 years.
That's right.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying, Travis.
I'm just asking.
Shall we ask you the same questions?
Well, it's only been 2.5 years, and you're right. I haven't gotten in an argument. Never once.
Honestly, neither of us are going to win the argument, so why get in it?
There we go.
There you go.
What's the secret to just staying out of the argument altogether?
Dude, I'm 64 years old, and what am I going to argue about at this point?
Yeah.
I met this incredible woman that she's beautiful and smart and stands for all the most important things that I believe in the world, and I can't believe how lucky I am, so what am I going to fight about?
It's a great answer.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, you can use that if you want.
I'm stealing it for sure.
I'm just taking notes this whole time, big guy. You don't even know.
Exactly.
Now, of course, that's George Clooney who's talking, who claims he hasn't had an argument with his wife in 10 years. And I thought he must be. Is he married to my wife? Because he described her perfectly.
Is that what it is?
Perfectly.
So you and Maggie have never had an argument.
I didn't say that.
Okay. I mean, the idea. Now, again, you're George Clooney with all the money in the world, and he said he's 64. What is he going to argue about? I still don't believe that.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be careful because,
well, you've been married, what, 30?
30.
How many arguments have you had?
I couldn't count them.
Exactly.
Right? I can tell you how many I've won.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. I know the answer to that.
Yeah. You know how that is, but there are times where you don't know if you've done something that's new she's mad at you for, or she's still mad at you for. Right? It might have been something from 15 years ago that all of a sudden it's. To say that you don't get into arguments. Now, I don't know how you define argument, Travis. And again, Taylor Swift. I mean, what are you saying? Yes to everything she says?
Sure.
I am. I will tell you, they're about to get married. Now, granted, their wedding planning is going to be far different than most of ours, but planning a wedding will test whether or not you should actually be married. That's why I don't understand people that have these long engagements. It's like I was talking to Rob Thompson's kid, Jack. He's getting married like a year and a half from now.
Uh-huh.
But why, dude? All you're going to talk about between now and then is the wedding. And you don't give a damn. She does, but you are going to have to act like you're interested and you care. And you answer wrong, it's going to be a fight.
Well, that's good training for him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter whether you're married or not. You still have to pretend like you're interested and you care. Whether you do or not, you've got to. So it's good training for Jack. It'll be good for him.
But again, I remember, and it's been 30 years. Joanna saying, do you like this one, or that one? That one. What's wrong with this one? Nothing. If that's the one you want, just go with it. Right? I mean, we know how it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You just have to show up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I call BS.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think the 2.5 years for Kelce and Swifty there, I will buy. But the 10 years with Clooney and his wife.
2.5 years.
I'm a Swifty.
I don't buy that either.
Dude, I can't believe it's been 2.5 years. Yeah. These kids grow up so fast, Minix. It's amazing.
They do.
They grow up so fast.
It's real.
Unbelievable.
I mean, the question really, do you think Taylor Swift has farted in front of Travis Kelce yet?
Well, if she has, I bet it stinks.
Well, I guarantee it does. Even hers.
Yes.
So there is a study out that women's farts smell worse than men's.
I totally agree with that.
And there's science behind it. Now, according to this study, people fart 23 times a day on average. On average.
Some people more than that, but okay, go ahead.
And women's, they just smell worse. And there's all kinds of reasons why. The good news is, the smellier her farts are, the less likely it is she's going to have Alzheimer's. How they made that connection, I don't know. There's an article. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I'm like, seriously, somebody got paid to smell farts and study this stuff.
Well, apparently this guy had like 10 people, 10 men, 10 women, and he's smelling farts. And, hey, if that floats your boat, go for it. But the whole 23 times a day, I don't buy, because I think it's a lot more than that. I fart that many times walking to the coffee machine, getting out of bed.
I mean, you hit your average early, and you get in trouble for it.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe that when I saw that study and going, I even showed it to my wife. I said, honey, look at this.
Well,
but I don't do that.
Yeah, of course.
That's women. They don't do that.
Well, and again, apparently that's why the ladies are a lot more discreet and embarrassed when they fart, because it smells so much worse than men's.
Yes.
You know, a guy will just sit there and let it rip.
Well, yeah. Some Redbird's junkie on our YouTube page said his wife just walked into the home office and asked, what the heck was I listening to? Well, Redbird's, ask her. I mean, you know we're telling the truth, and so does she.
Does she let it rip in front of you, Redbirds? We'll get her a whole new nickname.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, unbelievable stuff. But I believe that. I believe that report.
It's a scientific study.
It is a scientific study.
I mean, you know, and along the same lines, there are dumbass criminals out there. But there is a guy, you know, that James Bond Octopussy egg. All right.
I don't know if a lot of people remember that movie, and can you say that on TV? I guess you can, but on the radio.
Well, if you have Octa in there, and it's referring to a movie,
yes,
right?
It's an old James Bond movie, which was really good, but it was kind of back in the day.
Back in the day,
yeah.
And there was an egg in there. Well, somebody stole the egg by swallowing it. Now you realize to actually benefit from stealing the egg, it's got to pass through.
Yeah. So that dude delivered a baby at some point in time. Oh, my God. Can you imagine that guy? Oh! I'd be like, holy cow.
You're going to fart more than 23 times.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if they'll come out or not. That's the problem.
Well, they'll have to go get it.
Interesting.
Does that increase its value on the
You better clean it. Just do that, will you? Holy cow. Bunch of diamonds in that. That had to hurt the whole way. Unreal. Unreal.
How about them Cowboys?
How about, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner? He's a greedy man.
Well, of course.
And he is thinking about more football on the Thanksgiving holiday. In fact, he'd like to add another one on Black Friday. We're talking about that, and a big injury for the Philadelphia Eagles we're talking about as well when we continue here live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Come on down here and see us. Folks getting ready for that big game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions tonight. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my good friends, though, at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing, family-owned company, local company. And this company's been in business since 1983. Think about that for a minute and just let that sink in. That will tell you everything you need to know about the reputation of Stevens Roofing. And now they've added solar to their repertoire, if you will. So it's Stevens Roofing and Solar. If you've been thinking about putting solar panels on your house, call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They'll put a plan together depending on what you want and how you want it, and they'll make sure that you're happy and that everything is secure and sealed and installed just like it is supposed to be. And if you think you got a problem with your roof, of course you want to call Stevens Roofing and Solar. They'll come out, they'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know if everything's okay or if it needs some work. Whatever, you're dealing with a company that's got a perfect reputation, a company that stands behind the work that they do. Stevens Roofing and Solar, call them 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
People are buzzing about Zootopia 2, and the early reactions are in.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops, the dream team. Zootopia 2 is being called an absolute blast. It's a hilarious feel-good family adventure.
I'm Haley, the snake. And your last name? The Snake.
And a wildly smart and outstanding sequel that's well worth the wait.
We're gonna be the greatest partners of all time!
Togetherness.
Never mind. Forget I said it.
Disney Zootopia 2, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing only in theaters. Tickets available now.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit. Save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
There's nothing more frustrating than passwords and password, directives where you have to change the passwords. I mean, my password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, that's a good one to have. But our stupid work won't let you do that as a password. It's like, oh, you can't use that.
You idiots.
You can't. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, we're different here with the Cowboys. That works perfectly fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotta keep it kissed. We gotta go. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, boys.
Brian Shawne Merriman's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Live from the Roo Pub, getting ready for the Dallas Cowboys, the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football tonight. 281 in Redland Road, that's where we are. Head on down here and get situated. Get ready to watch this game. Come hungry, have something to eat, have some cold beer, whatever you want. They got it for you here at the Roo Pub. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and we're getting close.
Absolutely. We got Cowboys and Lions tonight. Spurs got a big win last night. They play again tomorrow. We're going to be over at the Rocket La Cantera tomorrow with Michelob Ultra, getting ready for that game. A watch party happening out there, plus a chance to win Spurs tickets. And then fast forward on Monday, we'll be in New Braunfels at the brand new Top Golf in New Braunfels. They're having their official grand opening tomorrow, Friday, and then we're going to be out there on Monday.
What is a traveling circus these days?
We really are.
That's awesome.
We really are.
I love it.
Which is a lot of fun. So no matter what part of town you are, we're going to be in that area. Especially, it's always fun when we get up to New Braunfels.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That'll be fun. And, boy, for the pictures you showed me, that place is really, really nice.
The new Top Golf has a 9-hole mini golf course in it too. So very different looking than the Top Golf here in San Antonio. So that'll be a lot of fun Monday in New Braunfels. It'll be fun tomorrow at the Rocket La Cantera. Again, we'll have Spurs tickets to give away.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Another big game for the Spurs, taking on the Cavs out there in frigid Cleveland. Yeah, I'm really surprised Elliott's making that road trip. I'm surprised he didn't call in sick for this one.
Well, there was Florida.
There was Orlando.
I'm not sure if he's going to Cleveland.
He may not.
I mean, that might be a Danny Green game.
Yeah, they may say, drop me off in San Antonio. I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's interesting when you think about like Thanksgiving Day. No surprise, Cowboys Chiefs had a gazillion people watching it. It set records. The Black Friday game was also very successful, and guess what? Roger Goodell wants to add a second game on Black Friday.
Well, and I'm all for that. I know there's some rules that they have to deal with. I don't think they can play a game after 6 o'clock on a Friday, so I'm not sure how that would work or what the ramifications are. But why not? I mean, why not add another game on Friday after Thanksgiving?
It's the NFL greed. And the reason I would say why not, and the rules that they have to be careful of are those rules about playing an NFL game on a Friday anywhere near a high school, which is basically anywhere in America, which is why they go to like the Brazil for the season opening game. They're able to get away with Black Friday because it is early, and if there's a high school game, it likely wouldn't affect it. Although playoff times, a Friday 2 o'clock kickoff does happen. But also, that's one of those good Fridays for college football and some of the big rivalry games. Texas A&M, they played on Friday night, 6:30 kickoff. Could you imagine if there was an NFL game on and it was an NFL game that you cared about, like if it were the Cowboys playing head-to-head against Texas A&M? That's not good for anybody in the TV business and not good for the fans.
Well, that's good for the Roo Pub because you'd have to come here and watch them both.
Well, that's true.
So that'd be a good thing. Like, I don't care. More football, the better. It doesn't matter. If Roger Goodell wants to add another game on Black Friday, do it. And I know we'll watch it and everybody else will. Look, with the record amounts of viewers that they had, especially with that Cowboys-Chiefs game on Thanksgiving Day, my goodness. CBS has just got to be rolling in their money in the office there with all the money they made off of that football game.
There is no doubt. But at the same, I don't know. I get it, but greed. But also, Sunday was weird. I mean, with the lack of games and then the lack of competitive games, and that's what I do worry about. I mean, Sunday is my NFL day. Saturday is my college day. Black Friday, I liked having a mix of both, right?
You're a shopper. You just admit it. You go shopping on Black Friday, Minix. Come on.
Well, when was the last time you went shopping on Black Friday?
Never.
I mean,
I never have.
I don't even think I bought anything on Amazon on Black Friday. Temu maybe, but not Amazon. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. I mean, I get why he would want to do it, but you think about all the games from the Egg Bowl all the way on. It's the NFL, and the NFL can do whatever the hell they want. They're going to make money,
right? And let them do it. It's fine. It's not a problem. Couple of injury issues that good news and bad news. Good news for the Washington Command Skins. Jaden Daniels practiced in full today. That's good news for them. Look, they're out of the playoff picture, but certainly good news for them as they try and spoil some seasons for everybody else.
You know, it is interesting, and I know Jaden Daniels is going to want to come back and play. The question is should he? I mean, Washington is 3-9. Although I do think they've got a chance to win this weekend playing against Minnesota. But their last 4 games are Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles.
Look at a couple of seasons you could spoil right there.
Well, that's it. But also, is it smart? Is it smart for Washington to bring him back and let him play coming off of that injury, especially knowing that right now you are sitting at getting a very high draft pick? The Giants are 2-11. The Saints are 2-10. You look over, Tennessee's got 1 win. The Raiders have 2. So right now, you're looking at a top 5-6 pick. Do you really want to spoil that by beating the Giants twice and then obviously losing to the Cowboys? But I get the competitive nature, but the smart business is to lose out and make sure you're drafting in the top 10, isn't it?
So you're suggesting they tank. And you're also disrespecting Marcus Mariota.
Mariota. Yes.
So you're disrespecting that poor guy, saying that he can't win. What makes you think that Marcus Mariota can't beat the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, I'd like him to beat the Eagles twice, to be honest. But, they've been competitive, but
they should have beaten the Denver Broncos.
They should have beaten the Denver, but they are 3-9. And at that point, do you just say, we're done for the year, we're on to next? And I know he's competitive. Let him practice. Let him get all those reps in. But does that mean he's going to play? That's going to be the question. It's like Deshaun Watson. Is he actually going to come play?
He's never going to play for Cleveland ever again.
I mean, if your option is Shador Sanders or Deshaun Watson, don't you make him play at least 1 game to earn some of that money?
I would make him play the rest and just earn some of that money that he's been stealing from the Cleveland Browns. Jalen Carter out next for the Philadelphia Eagles with shoulder surgery. We're talking NFL football with a former NFL player, Shawne Merriman, former NFL linebacker with the San Diego Chargers. He joins us next here on the Blitz, live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. He's got his entire winter line on display right now in that massive showroom. So if you need your logo on a nice quarter zip, a jacket, hoodie, a beanie, anything, get in and see Sam. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike Cap America, Katie caps, to name a few. If you need t-shirts, screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands: North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour, Port Authority, and he now has a full line of Tommy Bahama. So get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. If you need items done for the holidays, whether you want your company logo on a nice jacket or shirt for your employees, or something on a bag with your logo on it, or you just need embroidery embroidery done for a gift, get in to Sammy's Embroidery and Printing as soon as you can to make sure you get that for the holidays. Nobody has better prices than Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. No order too big, certainly no order too small, and he is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410 across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidda Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidda helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidda 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Visit Boot Barn today to save on top quality Christmas gifts. We're offering holiday specials right now where you can get $50 off all men's exotic boots, $40 off select women's boots, and 25% off flannels, sweatshirts, and select outerwear for men and women. We're also offering savings on select jeans, workwear, and kids' clothing. Visit us this week and save on top quality Christmas gifts. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch, Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Live from the Roo Pub, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix. Big football game here tonight. Well, everywhere, I guess, across this beautiful country. The Dallas Cowboys in Detroit taking on the Lions. Should be a dandy.
It should be a great game tonight. No better place to come watch the game than the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road. And let's talk some football with a guy that was really good at it, playing Shawne Merriman, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades at Guest Line. Former Charger, now running Lights Out Extreme Fighting. And Shawne, congrats on getting a deal done with ESPN. I remember when you got this thing started, and to watch it grow the way it has, I imagine there was quite celebrations taking place when you got that deal done with ESPN.
Yeah, everybody got to remind me to celebrate once in a while. I just like to go forward and get things done. But we got a huge partnership. We'll be live now starting this Saturday, and on ESPN Latin America, and hopefully soon some more regions and countries coming in the next few weeks. But a big deal for us, as you know, MMA is a global sport, and now we get a chance to be seen globally.
Well, Shawne, you've got to feel good, though. And I know you're a hard worker, don't want to celebrate, but take some time because I know you've worked your butt off to get this thing where it is today, and looks like the future is bright moving forward.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited because, for one, man, and anybody out there that's built anything from the ground up, and then having a partner like ESPN and being able to be seen globally, that's such a big deal. Obviously, coming from the NFL, where the States, the U.S. is football's biggest, fan base, and MMA is globally. But this is awesome, man. It's a big deal for us, and we got more announcements coming soon.
Absolutely. Shawne Merriman joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Shawne, we're fortunate to get to visit with you fairly often. And earlier in this football season, we were trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with the Dallas Cowboys defense. They've made a couple of moves, and getting Quinnen Williams and getting a guy like Overshown healthy, they look like a completely different team. You watch the game far differently than most of us. What are you seeing out of the Cowboys defense and how they've been able to improve so dramatically?
It's funny because, obviously losing Micah is going to be a gut punch to anybody. He's such a great player. But I believe I said the last time I came on the show that I think that Jerry could win long term. I think that he could win that deal long term, and bringing in new guys like Quinnen Williams and these up and coming talent. These guys are playing great cohesive team football, man. You see them swarming around. There's very few many one-on-one tackles. You see 3 or 4 guys on one guy. And they just keep swarming around. And let me tell you, if they go out and get a win tonight, which I think they can beat Detroit, I think the future's bright for them. And I want to say this also. Also, making that decision to keep Brian Schottenheimer was so key for them, and everybody's starting to see it now.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think a lot of Cowboy fans and a lot of people around the country kind of scratched their heads when Jerry made that hire, but it is turning out to be a pretty good one. Shawne, I've got to ask you, when your team gets on a roll like the Cowboys are right now and that confidence increases, what's the feeling in the locker room? Do you almost feel invincible at this point in time?
So Brian Schottenheimer was on the staff back when I was with the Chargers. And so while everybody else was scratching their head and trying to figure out why they did that, he is a great leader. The guys, they love to play for him. And then also, when he needs to come down and be tough, he will be. He sat players. He sat CeeDee Lamb. He sat other guys. He has respect in that locker room, but you also want to run through a damn wall for the guy. So I just believe that at this point in time, man, the energy levels, and I was also at the Cowboys, in person at the Cowboys-Raiders game, the energy levels that they're playing with right now, the confidence, if they keep going in this direction, man, they're going to be good for a long time.
Man, I like hearing that. Shawne Merriman joining us here on the Blitz. And you were there at that game. Tell me what you're seeing out of this Cowboys offense. If you're Detroit, how are you trying to stop both George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb?
It's one of those things where you pick your poison. One of those guys is going to get off that day. And Pickens, I love that. He's just he's like a wild child out there. He just does whatever the hell he wants. But he makes plays. He's entertaining. And CeeDee Lamb is a true number one wide receiver. He's a true star. And if you don't do something to double team or roll coverage to that guy, he can cook you.
Shawne, that's the problem for not only Detroit, but everybody that's playing Dallas these days, because now they've got a running game as well. Williams has been running the football really well. Dak Prescott has been playing at an MVP level. I don't know what you do to game plan for that Cowboys offense at this point in time.
You hope that one of those guys just have an off day, because whoever you roll coverage to, Dak Prescott's going to see it, and the other one's going to get open. And then the key to everything they're doing, you just said, is the running game. When you have a successful running game, you don't have to be great at running back, but they've been running the ball well enough that you have to pay attention to it. If you have to step guys up in the box, because if you keep a 7-man box, they can break a long one. So if you start to see, Detroit's defense, they're going to have to creep a safety down there if they start getting a running back rolling for Dallas. Watch how Pickens and CeeDee Lamb goes off then. That's going to be the key to tonight's game.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Shawne, as you talk about that, and obviously the Cowboys are playing really good football right now and far better than they did in, say, September and October. You see other teams like a Detroit, like a Philadelphia, starting to drop off. Why do some teams get better as the season goes on and other teams drop off as the calendar flips to December?
We call it December football, man. That's it's going to make or break who you really are. We don't care about the first 8+ weeks of the season. When you get December football, everything starts to shake out. Also, too, health is going to be a big factor, right? If you get on a great momentum streak in December, you're going into January, and then you got your health and you're trending up. Those are the scariest teams to play. Not the teams, and I don't want to bash Philly because Philly also, I think, sometimes get unfair treatment in how well they're not playing, but their record's always good. But if you creep into the playoffs and you're barely scooting past, I mean, that could be an early exit for you.
Shawne, I've got to ask you a question because you look at Detroit tonight and they're banged up. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's questionable, unlikely to play from what we're hearing. They've got some injury problems. Everybody, it seems like, is thinking Dallas is going to run away with this game. If you're a member of the Detroit Lions, what are you saying in the locker room where nobody's giving you a shot to win this football game?
Well, they got a great leader in Dan Campbell to do it. And it's unfortunate that I think that injuries obviously is a massive, massive blow to them. But two, I think that Dan Campbell took over the play calling a little bit too late. I think he should have been a play caller from the beginning of the season because his style and the way he coaches that offense is let it hang, man. Like let's go for it. Let's not be so timid. And they were timid the first several weeks of the season when they had another play caller, but they've been a little bit different since Dan Campbell. But you can't overcome the amount of injuries they've had, not just on the offense side of the ball, but also in that secondary.
Well, and that's it. And then again, I don't know if you saw Dan Orlovsky this morning on Get Up talking about if they try to single cover and play man against Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, Dak should throw up 40 times tonight and have an MVP type of game. And we know the TV's on in the building in Detroit. Those guys are seeing it. As a defensive player, when you used to hear people say you can't stop that offense, what do you guys? What are the Detroit Lions defensive players saying in the locker room, trying to come up with a plan to stop the Cowboys tonight?
Well, Dan Campbell is a former player. That is nothing but bulletin board material. He has to be able to put that up, and that has to be the last thing that he says to that team walking out that tunnel. That they just told us. Maybe even play a clip of whoever said that. Maybe Dan over at ESPN or whoever said that last. Play a clip before those guys walk out and get them going. Because they're going to need something. They're going to need extra motivation to come out tonight because it's not going to all happen on the field with the players.
Shawne, when you look around the NFL in general, you see quarterbacks that have been right in the mix of things, not so much so right now. And of course, I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. You got Joe Burrow, even Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Lamar a little bit dinged up again. And you're seeing some other teams kind of step up. Is that just the NFL, or does that surprise you a little bit?
No, exactly. I mean, Lamar Jackson didn't practice again today, so he's probably, he has a good shot of not playing. And so when you see quarterbacks, especially of that caliber, down or they're not healthy, this is your time to go out there and do it. And by the way, Joe Burrow, man, I just give him all the respect and credit in the world because he easily could have sat down for the rest of the season and not played and just got ready for next year, man. But he got in there. I'm sure he got a lot of respect from those guys in the locker room by getting back on the field, even though they don't have. I think they practically got to win out in order to have an opportunity.
Well, they do, and we were talking earlier in the show, Shawne, that Jaden Daniels went to practice today, and I'm thinking that Washington's a 3-win team. At what point do you decide, all right, you got 4 or 5 games left? Let's protect our draft spot and not play Jaden Daniels. Why put him at risk? Or is the player mentality one thing versus the smart business move would be to keep him out the rest of the year and try to make sure you're picking in the top 10, if not the top 5?
No, I think it's easier to say, from our standpoint now that I'm not a player anymore and I'm a fan of the game, watching from the outside in. But when you're in that locker room, you can't send a wrong message. If you sit Jaden Daniels and you're basically saying, hey, guys, we're going to tank for the rest of the year, so you're asking everybody else to come to work every day, put your body on the line with a great attitude, and it's just not going to happen. So I think that Jaden Daniels is right. He should be playing. Now, should he be guarded? Should he be running for 15 to 20-yard scrambles in open field? No. But in no way, shape, or form you should fit him and send a message through the locker room that way.
Well, I tell you what, and I agree with that. I mean, players play, right? And that's what they do. Let's talk about your Chargers football team.
Yeah.
A team that I think that's certainly been up and down this season so far, but Justin Herbert, surgery on that left hand, looks like from every indication he is going to try to give it a go. Is that the kind of thing that earns respect? Not that he necessarily needs it from his Charger teammates, but adds that little extra respect from the rest of the guys.
Yeah, you know what? He's a tough guy, and that's one thing that if you ask anybody on that offense, anybody on that team, the first thing they'll tell you about Justin Herbert, he is a true warrior. So he don't have to earn any respect. I think I'm going to watch on Monday how much padding. It's not necessarily the pain. It's how much padding do they have on there that's going to be a problem for him. Are they padding under his hand, or are they just padding over top of his hand? Does he have a soft or hard cast? So those are the questions I'm going to be looking at. But I've had that just about that same injury. It was a little bit higher, close to my wrist. But it's not as pain because you can take the fun stuff to knock out a little bit of the edge, but it's a padding for his situation and whether he's going to be able to throw the ball accurately.
All right, now Shawne, when you were having an injury like that kind of became a club for you, didn't it?
Oh, I use it any ways I can. We had less cameras back in the day, so I use that quite well.
Absolutely. Shawne Merriman joining us here on the Blitz. One other, you look at a guy like Mike Tomlin, even John Harbaugh in Baltimore. Tomlin getting a chance in Pittsburgh last week, fired Tomlin, which surprised me. At what point can a coach, a long-term, long-tenured coach, and I think you got the same situation in Baltimore with Harbaugh, that they just ultimately lose a locker room? I don't think any of us think Tomlin forgot how to coach, but you can lose a locker room. Do you think it's time for both those organizations to move on from their head coach?
Well, let me say this. First of all, I think that if Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh got let go, they'll be hired within the same week, and that's if they even want a job that fast. The second part is there's about 10 to 12 teams right now that will give a left leg to have one of those coaches so they can go above 500 every year for the next 15 years. The problem is with Mike Tomlin is that they haven't had, in my opinion, they haven't had a quarterback because they've been winning games. They're somewhere in, I think, in the 20-something pick or 20th pick every year. So they haven't got a star quarterback in the last 10-plus years. You can really call it if you want to since Ben Roethlisberger. They haven't had a star quarterback. So you can't win in the NFL if you don't have a star quarterback, and nothing against Aaron Rodgers, but they knew that Aaron Rodgers was not going to be the 100% answer on that. He's just been better than what they've had. John Harbaugh he'll go anywhere right now and put any team in a contention to win the Super Bowl, period.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I just think with 19 years, I think for Tomlin there at Pittsburgh, sometimes a change of scenery, Shawne, does that make a difference for not only the team that are leaving, but for a guy like Tomlin to go somewhere else and maybe just have a breath of fresh air?
Yes, I agree. Because what happens is fans, people, organizations, people get spoiled. They get spoiled saying, hey, we won Super Bowl, but this is a long time ago. We're tired of going to 500 or a little bit above 500. We want to change the scenery. And then, by the way, that may be a good thing for Mike Tomlin. I mean, really, it might be a good thing for him so they can, so they can see how important he was when they don't get back to wherever they were before he left. So it may be both. It didn't be good for both sides, man. I think they really got to look at that.
Shawne Merriman joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night, another big fight night for you guys. Lights Out 29. Tell us about the fights on Saturday night and where people can watch it.
Yeah, we got a big fight. Lights Out Extreme fighting 29 will be this Saturday, December 6th. You can download Lights Out Sports TV. Lights Out Sports TV is my network, available on every smart TV, iOS and Android. But we'll be live also, ESPN Latin America in every Latin American country, which is a massive, massive partnership with us. And hopefully we got some more distribution soon. We want to be seen globally all over the world, but we've got a huge fight, Lights Out Extreme Fight in 29.
Well, that's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see that. And you're starting to get some fighters that are up and coming, Shawne, that really have something to prove.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we sent, five fighters over the past couple of months to the UFC and Dana White Contender Series. And, we feel like we have the next best talent up in the sport. And it's always cool to see these guys before they become superstars. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the fight with Ethan Ewing, who came in a few weeks ago on the UFC, but he was one of our guys, and he came in there on last-minute notice and won. And we have tons of those fighters up and coming through Lights Out Extreme Fighting.
Shawne, man, I remember when you were getting this off the ground, man. Congratulations on all your success, the partnership with ESPN, and have fun on Saturday night. We'll catch up soon.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Shawne Merriman here on the Blitz, joining on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
So you remember watching that dude play.
Dude,
man.
lights out.
Oh, my gosh. He was a lot of fun to watch. And he's great to talk to. He's got an opinion on everything, and he's not afraid to let you know what he thinks. And I love talking to him.
He looks like he could still play, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, every time we see that guy, Super Bowl Radio Row, man, it's like, dude, your current player? No, because you see some of those retired guys, they look retired.
They look retired.
Shawne still spends way too much time in the gym.
He does. He's just got that intensity that he's got, and that's why he's so successful in what he's doing with his fights. And yeah, I think he probably could play, although I don't know.
He'll kick your ass.
Well, dude,
yeah.
There's probably about 99% of the people in here that might do that. So I'm not.
This is true.
The bar is not high when it comes to that. And in here, by what I mean by in here, is the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. That's where we are. Of course, the show until 6:00 tonight. That's when the broadcast on 94.1 gets started with the Cowboys broadcast crew. They'll get you started at 6:00. And I tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun. But you ought to get down here, get yourself a table. There's a lot of folks in here already getting the party started. Cowboys Lions tonight here at the Roo Pub. No better place to watch it. Come hungry as well. The food is great. We had lunch today, and it was absolutely fantastic. We'll return here from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Does anyone feel like life is busier than ever, especially with the holidays? I'm a planner and try to think of it all. But what about the unexpected? Now I've got that covered. My husband and I finally got life insurance with SelectQuote, and I couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. This holiday season, I feel a little lighter, knowing my family is protected and ready for whatever the new year throws our way.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-970-3311. That's 1-800-970-3311. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-970-3311. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can put our team of experts to work for you. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. The name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office, San Antonio.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I've got to stop this Fortnite stuff with my third grader. It's a game. It's called Fortnite. Every third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh grader in the world is addicted to this thing, and you run around killing people. And when you control your kid's behavior with the power cord of the Xbox, if you don't do that, we're going to take your power cord away again. No! I'll kill you!
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, this is Sarah at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
I've always dreamed of a beautiful kitchen, but my wife just wants to stay organized.
You know what they say about opposites?
That they can't agree on a kitchen?
Well, IKEA kitchens come in many styles with a variety of customizable organizers. So maybe you're not opposites at all.
Beautiful and organized. Now we just have to figure out what to eat.
That's a different department. Get the kitchen of your dreams at a price you didn't dream possible at IKEA.US/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Calling all Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. Game day isn't complete without the right look, and the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has everything you need. Whether you're headed to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. Find game day staples like jerseys and hats to fan favorites like hoodies and jackets at any of our 4 convenient locations: River Center, North Star Mall, Ingram Park Mall, and Heebner Oak Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear only at the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop.
Give it up for Chicago.
Sebastian Maniscalco's new stand-up special, It Ain't Right, is now streaming on Hulu.
30 years ago, Jeff Bezos, complete nerd. Bezos now ripped to shreds on his super yacht, and the boxes keep coming.
Watch Sebastian Maniscalco, It Ain't Right, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are on a roll. They won their second straight last night, 114-112 in Orlando against the Magic. It was De'Aaron Fox with 31 points to lead the way. Dylan Harper added 16. San Antonio now 15-6 on the year. They return to action tomorrow in Cleveland when they take on the Cavs. And, of course, tonight the Cowboys in Detroit to take on the Lions. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning
Sports Center
at
brought
6.
to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And we're live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, getting ready for the Cowboys and the Lions here tonight. No better place to watch any game, especially this one tonight, other than the Roo Pub. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and we're another hour closer, Minix.
We are a couple hours away, and I'm still waiting for the final active report tonight. Will Amon-Ra St. Brown be active tonight for the Lions? Right now, considered a game time decision.
I think it was one of those guys, the insider said unlikely to play tonight, but we'll wait and see for that final one. Jane Slater, Minix, just tweeted out that she talked to Dak Prescott there in Detroit, asked him what he remembers from the last one here, and I'm assuming that's in Detroit. He said, quote, that we lit them up. A lot of passing yards, about to do it again.
Woo.
Now, Jane asked, can I quote you on that? And he said, sure, with a confident smile.
Well, and again, knowing Dak Prescott, I could see that. Now, the last meeting in Detroit was 2019, and Dallas won that game 35-27. Their last meeting was in 2024, and Detroit rolled Dallas 47-9 at Dallas.
So I'm not exactly sure what he was referring to, but he must have thrown for a lot of yards in that game in Detroit. But they didn't exactly light them up, it doesn't sound like.
Well,
so.
I mean, 35 points, or I mean, 35 points offensively they did. Defense, they had to hang on. Dallas has won 5 of the last 6 meetings against the Detroit Lions.
Interesting. And it'd be interesting to see what happens tonight. I mean, Dallas looks like the overwhelming team. When you look at them, the way they're playing offensively, defensively, Detroit banged up and most likely will not have their best wide receiver tonight. They're already missing their best tight end. Sam Laporta, he's already been ruled out, and he's been out for some time. So they're banged up. They're banged up in their secondary as well. So all signs point to the Cowboys winning this football game, and that scares me.
Well, I mean, again, this is a Cowboys team, quite frankly, that hasn't earned the trust yet. And I think that's why it scares you, because, I mean, just look at their third down defense. Weeks 1 through 10, the Cowboys rank 32nd in third down defense. That's dead last in the NFL. Although the last 3 weeks, Dallas ranks 9th in third down defense. And again, I know Vegas was a part of that, but you also have the Chiefs and the Eagles. So, I mean, clearly they have improved their defense, and it's not just, well, it was the Raiders and the Raiders suck, right? I mean, there is something to how well they are playing right now, how well the offense is playing. I like a confident Dak Prescott. And part of that is the offensive line is giving him protection, but you're looking at this beat-up Detroit defense, especially in their secondary, and you've got a George Pickens and a CeeDee Lamb, and let's not forget about Ferguson at tight end, what he can do, and they're able to run the ball. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for Dak Prescott to be confident going into this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way they're playing overall on both sides of the ball, you got to be confident heading into this one. A quasi-playoff game for both of these teams. I mean, sincerely, maybe a little bit more for the Lions, quite frankly, because, boy, if they fall another game behind both Green Bay and Chicago, they could be in real trouble when it comes to the postseason.
Well, and again, something to keep an eye on. And, the good news for Dallas, and while it is a quasi-playoff game, by all accounts, if they were to lose tonight, while their postseason hopes certainly take a hit, it's not the death blow. And again, at the beginning of this 3-game stretch, this gauntlet, if they were somehow able to win 2 or 3, they would be in good shape. Well, they won the first 2 of the 3. So, I mean, obviously we're greedy, and, if they don't win tonight, what was the problems? How did they lose this game? Because I do think Detroit might actually need this one from a need standpoint, more so than the Dallas Cowboys. They both need it. But Detroit is seemingly the much more desperate team. Very similar to what we said about the Kansas City game. The Chiefs needed that game a lot more than Dallas needed that game.
That's absolutely true, because the Chiefs don't have a team collapsing in their division, and neither does Detroit. The Philadelphia Eagles are on a free fall right now, not playing well, and I don't even know what their identity is at this point in time, and I'm not sure that they know. They're not playing well on either side of the ball, and so that benefits, obviously, Dallas. If you can keep winning, who knows? I mean, how crazy would it be to think that the Cowboys could actually overtake Philly and win that division? I mean, it is a possibility with as poorly as Philly.
I mean, what do we go back to the Reagan administration since there was a repeat winner in the NFC East? So
a long time.
I mean, I think it's 20 some odd years. Feels like the Reagan administration, because I know somebody will fact check that and say I was wrong.
30 years.
That's tongue-in-cheek joke. But I don't know how surprising it would be. And again, when you look at Philadelphia and their schedule down the stretch versus the Cowboys' schedule, it's almost just as easy as the Cowboys. They do have the Bills at Buffalo on December 28th. Outside of that, they've got the Chargers, and again, who knows about the Chargers? They've got the Raiders, and they got Washington twice sandwiched in between that game at Buffalo. So counting on a Philly collapse, looking at their schedule and trying to judge strengths of schedule, I feel like I'm on the committee now for college football playoff, looking at the metrics. The down the stretch schedule is very, very similar for the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. The question is, do you win the NFC East, or can the Cowboys get a wild card? And there for a while, it didn't look like a wild card was an option. A win tonight, and the wild card is very much an option, along with winning the NFC East.
Yeah, there's no question about it. So, look, I think that Philly's going to have a hard time against the Chargers out in L.A., unless they've got something up their sleeve, and who knows. But Jim Harbaugh will have the Chargers ready to go. Looks like Justin Herbert's going to try to give it a go. So that's not going to be an easy game for them out there on Monday night. If the Cowboys can win this, can you imagine you just sit back and relax and watch everything unfold this weekend? If you lose it, obviously you got a long time to have that taste in your mouth before you get a chance to play again.
Well, that was, I think, the last time I think they played on a Thursday or whatever it was, they lost, and then the Eagles lost, and you're like, son of a, you let such a golden opportunity slip through. But I mean, a win tonight, and the Cowboys are 7-5-1, right? And obviously Detroit would drop to 7-6. So you would leapfrog Detroit in the standings. And again, Green Bay at 8-3-1, and Chicago still 9-3, and the number one seed in the NFC. Which it's funny, you watch all these national shows and nobody thinks that Chicago will be able to maintain that top spot.
Well, they've got to go to Lambeau Field this week and take on the Green Bay Packers. That's a game with some meaning for sure. And being at Lambeau is going to be a difficult thing for them. But who knows? That's going to be a hell of a matchup in itself.
Well, you look at Chicago at Lambeau this week. Then they got Cleveland, home against Green Bay, at San Francisco, and they wrap up against the Detroit Lions.
Oh, wow.
All right. They got a tough December schedule.
No doubt about it. And I think their toughest it may be one of the toughest stretches to finish of any team, quite frankly. So it's going to be fun, man. I tell you what, I like these playoff races. I like the fact that some teams are hanging on by a thread. Some of the traditional teams are not going to be in the playoffs this year. I mean, think about it. It's a very could have a playoff season without the Kansas City Chiefs. Think about that for a minute, how crazy that could be. But it is a distinct possibility. The Ravens, they might win that division by default. But I don't expect them to do anything. And Lamar Jackson doesn't look like he's going to play again this week. He's got the sprained ankle. Didn't practice again today.
Could you imagine? Let's see, your years with the radio station, you've gone to 4 Super Bowls?
Yep.
Kansas City was in 3 of them.
Yep.
Right?
That's exactly right.
And I think about all the Super Bowls that I've been to, a gazillion of them involving New England, and, of course, the last 3 involving Kansas City. Although New England could be back in the mix.
They could be.
And quite frankly, I don't expect Denver to be there. But the last time I was at a Super Bowl with Denver was Super Bowl 50, happened to be San Francisco, which is where we'll be for this year for Super Bowl 60. Could Denver find their way back to San Francisco? I doubt it. But
well, who knows? I mean, the AFC is not as powerful as it once was, Jason. And so with that defense, if they can get any kind of offense moving at all, they could be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs. What's going to be interesting about New England is they're a young team, and a lot of those guys haven't been there before. Once the calendar turns and it's playoff football, how are they going to respond? Drake May's playing on another planet right now, MVP candidate. I still like the Rams. I still think if I had to pick a team out of the NFC, it would be the LA Rams right now. So that's my pick out of the NFC, at least as we sit here now. The AFC, if I had to, I'd go New England, but who knows?
As we sit today in the AFC, I'm going with my preseason pick, and that's Buffalo.
They could still do it.
They could still do it.
Well, they got a tough game this week against a rejuvenated Cincinnati squad.
Exactly.
So that's not going to be an easy thing for those guys either. So
I love the NFL.
I do too. It's going to be a fun finish. There's no question about it. So having said all of that, go to sasportstar.com and Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. Make your picks for this weekend because it all starts tonight with Dallas and Detroit. We're live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. You need to get on down here. The tables are going to fill up fast, as it gets closer to game time. Come on out when you got plenty of time to have some dinner and lots of drinks.
Yes.
Why not? And enjoy the game here at the Roo Pub. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, it's a little bit yucky outside right now. I know that. Little cool, little yucky, little drizzly.
Official weather term?
Absolutely it is. So we have adopted
for my
that.
Golf game.
Well, that too. That's beyond yucky, my friend. But this weekend is supposed to be fantastic. Highs in the 70s with clear blue skies, perfect golf weather. So here's what I want you to do. Go to golfclubtexas.com and make your tee time for this weekend. And look, if you can't play this weekend, you can play Monday. Or how about Tuesday? How about Wednesday? It doesn't matter because the Golf Club of Texas is open 7 days a week. It's open to the public, but it's going to feel like a country club as soon as you go out there. With all the improvements that they've made to that golf course, it is just fantastic. Brand new sod all over the place, cart paths, brand new all over the place. They've got zero scape areas. Tee markers are new. It is a schwanky looking place, I'm going to tell you, and you need to get out there. And the golf course is a blast to play. It is just a lot of fun. Then you want to go out there hungry and go to the Tin Cup Bar and Grill because, well, the food out there is absolutely fantastic. They've got any kind of cocktail that you can imagine, all kinds of beer choices as well. It's just a perfect place to go. And look, if you don't want to go play golf this weekend, just head on out to the Golf Club of Texas and watch some football. They've got an outside bar you can sit at and watch, which is fantastic. Or you can go inside at the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. Either way, you are going to have a lot of fun. The Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, how about your next tournament? Go check them out. Again, best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thursday night at 7:15. The Cowboys are in the Motor City, taking on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. Pre-game at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Discover the newest place to play at Top Golf New Braunfels, opening this Friday in the New Braunfels Town Center at Creekside. Top Golf New Braunfels features new games, food and drink, a 9-hole mini golf course, and half-off gameplay Monday through Thursday. Come play at Top Golf New Braunfels.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Does anyone feel like life is busier than ever, especially with the holidays? I'm a planner and try to think of it all. But what about the unexpected? Now I've got that covered. My husband and I finally got life insurance with Select Quote, and I couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with Select Quote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. This holiday season, I feel a little lighter, knowing my family is protected and ready for whatever the new year throws our way.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-970-3311. That's 1-800-970-3311. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-970-3311. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
For 70 years, we've been known as the Humane Society of the United States. But as the challenges animals face have grown, so have we. We are now called Humane World for Animals. And with you on our side, we are going to end animal cruelty around the globe. Join us. Humane World for Animals. The end of animal cruelty.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are going to love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Hey, it's Rob at Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits Black Friday. There's deals happening now. Choose 3 doggy daycare packages that you cannot beat, but only through December 5th, so you better call right now. Your pub's holidays start here, start now. Call them. 210-750-1298 today.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. How'd the Cowboys look on Thursday Night Football?
Oh, so many ramifications for a huge game, but that's just the beginning of a championship weekend. We'll get you ready for all the games and the Spurs, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeehaw! Live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. We got to give away some tickets, man. I was supposed to do it in the last segment.
You slacker.
I know it. So let's do it right now. What do you say? Win a pair of tickets to go see Queen's Reich, December 13th at the Aztec Theater. And, of course, as always, if you don't win the tickets, well, you can get them at livenation.com. Caller number what, Minix?
Well, they're playing on the 13th, so let's go caller 13 right now at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Be a great show to be at. And in fact, it'd be one that I would be at, except for we will be in Baltimore at the Army-Navy game.
Boy, that is next week, is it not?
That a week from today, we will be in Baltimore for Army-Navy Radio and Row. In fact, I was just texting with one of the people at USAA because they wanted to know for our airport pickup, do we need a sedan or an SUV? And I responded, it depends on how much hairspray Joe packs.
Well, I hope he keeps that in mind.
Yes.
Because you never know. I may need a big SUV for the big suitcase I've got to bring. No, that's going to be a blast. As always, the Army-Navy weekend is just an absolute blast presented by USAA. And, man, I can't wait to get up there. It's going to be fun.
And some of the guests that apparently we're going to have, I guess the restraining order has been lifted. Annie Agar is going to be on with us.
Oh, Annie Agar. Yeah. She must have heard the news.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be a lot of fun. And look, you never know who else is going to stop by and visit with us. Now, before we get to Army-Navy, we're going to be live tomorrow at the Rocket La Cantera for a Spurs Cavs watch party. It's presented by Michelob Ultra. And, of course, while you're there, you can register to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming home game and more. So make your plans to head out to the Rocket La Cantera tomorrow as we get ready for the Spurs and the Cavaliers.
And then on Monday, we're going to be at the brand new Topgolf in New Braunfels. Good, obviously, Monday night football game. Their grand opening is on Friday. We're going to be out there on Monday. And that new Topgolf in New Braunfels isn't at all like the Topgolf here. They've got the bays that you would expect, but also they have a 9-hole miniature golf course. And some of the photos they sent, the bar area where we're going to be, it looks incredible. So if you're a New Braunfels listener, if you're in church, or hell, you just want to drive up, Monday's going to be a lot of fun out at the brand new Topgolf in New Braunfels.
Yeah, come on up and see us. Make plans. Hey, you can be with us tomorrow, Monday. You can be with us today here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Come on out and see us and get ready for this big matchup tonight, the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. Just continue to talk about this game, Jason. It's it does scare me, and I tell you why. Just my experience and just how the NFL is, and it's such a league that is so hard to predict. I was watching over here on one of the big screens here at the Roo Pub. They made their picks on the NFL show, what that were, Rutledge and all of them. And one person picked Detroit. The other three went with the Dallas Cowboys. And that's kind of the consensus, the way it's been. And anytime the whole world thinks the one team's going to win, typically they don't.
Well, and I do think one of the reasons why that you got a lot of people that are on Dallas is just the way they are playing right now. Not only on the defensive side, because there's been drastic improvement the last 3 weeks on the defensive side, but how efficient this Cowboys offense has been. And listen to what Dan Orlovsky said earlier today on Unsportsmanlike, which is where this clip is from, although he has said and played similar video on all the shows that he's been on, but it's how Dallas's offense should easily attack that Detroit defense.
I lean Dallas. I would try to win Dak the MVP tonight if I was Dallas. Ooh. If Detroit wants to line up and play man coverage, which they have, last 3 games, 70% man coverage. I'm going to throw 40 times. You cannot cover my 2 guys. And I'm totally comfortable. I'll put George by himself. I'll put CD opposite. You want to cover George one-on-one? Great. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL one-on-one versus man. If you want to double team him or play, I'm going to throw it to CD Lamb. I think it'll be interesting. I think the most important person tonight is Kelvin Shepard, who's the DC for Detroit. You can't line up and play man. Will you change? Will you play some zone? I would challenge Dallas to run the football and then try to play elite red zone defense. Does Brian Schottenheimer want to hand it off 40 times? I'm not letting you throw it that much if I'm Detroit. But if Detroit wants to line up and be who they are, I'm gonna throw it 40 times because you can't cover me.
Now, I got one issue with that. Google Dak's record when he throws more than 40 times in a game.
Yeah.
Stop at 39. But again, I think Orlovsky is 100% right. And we saw that in the Kansas City game. In the first half, Kansas City doubled at George Pickens and CD went wild. Then they adjusted. What happened? Then George Pickens went nuts, especially when you look at what he does on those inside slants. His moves on the inside slants are just damn near impossible to cover.
Well, they are, and he's really good at that. And he's been talking about that too, that nobody can stop him on those things. Look, again, I think Detroit, for any way for Detroit to win tonight, they're going to have to get some turnovers. Dallas is going to have to turn the football over for them, give them some short fields, and they're going to have to run the football. They're going to have to figure out a way to run the football and keep Dak and CD and George Pickens on the sidelines. And I think, to me, you're going to have to try and shorten the game. And if Detroit can do that, they'll have an opportunity to win the game. If they can't, it could be a very long night for Detroit.
And again, the numbers back up. I just looked it up. According to NFL Pro, George Pickens has the second most receptions and receiving yards on in-breaking routes, only behind JSN with Seattle. Pickens has 33 catches, 576 yards on those kind of routes. And I credit Brian Schottenheimer for using George Pickens the right way, or in these ways, because when he came over from Pittsburgh, I thought all this guy could do was run go routes, right? I mean, that's how I don't want to call it coaching malpractice, but knowing what he did in Pittsburgh and seeing what he's doing in Dallas, my goodness, the change of scenery, the coaching, but his ability is so much more than just being the deep threat that we all thought we were getting when he got traded from Pittsburgh to the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, he is very difficult to cover, especially on those slant routes, and he and Dak have got a timing down that has been extremely good. This is going to be a game, again, though, I think the Cowboys have got to play mistake-free football, and Detroit's got to try and run it. They've got to try and establish the running game. If whoever does that the best is going to win this football game tonight, it should be a blast.
Well, and then big penalties.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Well, think about this. CeeDee Lamb leads the NFL with 10 defensive pass interference penalties drawn in 2025.
How about that?
George Pickens is tied for fourth with 5. As a team, the Dallas leads the league with 17 DPI penalties. And again, back to what Orlovsky said, if pick your poison, Detroit, but also those guys do a great job of collecting the flags.
Sure. I mean, it's hard to guard those guys. So some of these DBs,
they cheat.
They got to take a chance or two and hope they don't get caught. And maybe that's the only way they get it done. I got an alert just a minute ago, just changing gears for just a minute. And we're going to talk some college football coming up. But Billy Napier has a job already. He's going to James Madison.
He's taking the JMU job.
Yes. Because
interesting.
Their coach is headed to UCLA.
Yep.
So, Billy Napier going to James Madison. How about that? You get fired in Florida and, well, you got a job just a few weeks later. We will talk some college football because, Jason, what I hope this weekend with all the conference championship games is a little chaos. And if there is a little chaos, what does that mean for all the teams that are on the outside looking in? We're talking about it live at the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
Get 5 parts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Last minute shopping? Been there.
Luckily, there's still a little time to shop, and Ulta Beauty makes it easy. Find the hottest gifts from brands like Sol de Janeiro and Tarte. Need stocking stuffers? Grab minis from Clinique and Benefit Cosmetics or fragrance rollerballs. Gift cards are always a win in a pinch. So hurry and head to Ulta Beauty today. Or buy online and pick up in-store now. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This holiday season, Rachel will get Anna a fabulous faux fur coat. Anna will say Rachel shouldn't have, but Rachel didn't. Because Rachel will only have to spend $75 on a coat Anna thinks costs $200. But then again, it's what she thought that counts. Yes, JCPenney. Higher price reflects comparable national brand. Price valid through 12/7. Some exclusions apply. See coupon for details.
Join the Blitz this Friday at the Rock at Lock Ontario for your chance to win some Spurs tickets.
When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. Win or lose, Superior is worth paying for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, Superior like beer. Back out at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Come on out and see us. Come hungry. Just talked to some friends of ours sitting here, Jason, and they're waiting on some of that good Roo Pub food and enjoying a cold beer or two and getting ready for the Cowboys game tonight. And a lot of other folks doing the same thing as we prepare for the Cowboys and the Lions here at the Roo Pub. Best place to watch that football game here tonight.
And make sure that you get your picks in for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge at sasportstar.com. Weekly winner, so if you haven't played all year, you know you're out of it. Every week we get a winner for a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom. At the end of the year, the local grand prize winner will be getting $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets, which is fantastic. Now, you think about all the chaos in college football, and I don't know if there's more chaos in the coaching searches or in the games this weekend. Interesting note on the college coaching searches. You know, Penn State, what a bunch of, I mean, they look like fools, right?
They do. They really do.
According to On3, Penn State's coaching search has netted other coaches an estimated $370.8 million in extension money.
Wow.
You know, and you think about all the coaches that Penn State is, hey, well, Penn State's interested in you. Other players, well, we'll give you a raise. I mean, he's made a whole lot of people a whole lot of money, and Penn State still can't find a coach. I saw somebody joke on Twitter, maybe they should just take a gap year next year. Yeah, I mean, National Recruiting Day, I think they signed 4 dudes.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. I heard 2. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there. It is turning into a clown show, quite frankly. I mean, you fire James Franklin, you would think that they would have had some candidates in mind. And I know they wanted the guy from BYU, and he turned them down. But still, my goodness, there's got to be some other people that want that job. Or is it just a place where maybe they're not making the commitment that some of these coaches want? It's funny, Jason, because talking to Jeff Traylor yesterday, a lot of these coaches are foregoing salary in some respects and making sure they have enough NIL money to get players there. And so that's becoming more important even than some of the salaries. Although, don't get me wrong, these coaches are still getting paid very handsomely.
Well, but I think Joey McGuire is a prime example of that. He got a raise up to $7 million or whatever. But I do. I don't want to say I disagree with Jeff Traylor on this because he knows more about it than I do. I don't know how much salary they are foregoing, but you have heard a lot of these coaches talk about getting the school's commitment in the contract, so they're obligated to spend X on. And I do think, he made some good points yesterday. I was driving home listening to that interview because I was off yesterday, and the idea that UTSA has made a lot of commitments to the football program, they have, but there still has to be more. And that's where it feels like UTSA is falling behind. I've never heard him be as open about what he doesn't have as he stopped. Joe, pay attention.
Oh, sorry.
Focus.
Yes.
You guys need to get to the Roo Pub. You'll understand why.
Oh my goodness.
But when you look at it and you think about it, they got to do more. And again, the commitment was made, but there's got to be more. And the expectations for fans and for Jeff Traylor, because I heard him say 6-6 isn't up to his standard. It shouldn't be up to any of our standards. But the idea that you're going to have the expectation of the success they had in Conference USA with the commitment that was a Conference USA commitment. Well, now they're in the American, and if your expectation is the success they had in Conference USA, that commitment from the school has to be there. The idea of what I hear him say yesterday, $7 million for scholarships. So the University of Florida system has said, we're just not going to charge you for the scholarships. Now, that's all sports, $7 million. So what do you figure? 3 or 4 of that is got to go football?
Sure.
Why doesn't Dr. Amy say, you know what, we're not going to charge you for that, and all of a sudden you've just found $3 million?
Well, I think that has to come from the University of Texas system, because I think the way I understood that story, and I asked Jeff about that yesterday, and he said that was kind of out of his pay grade, but and he did say for the scholarships, however, that's got to come from the University of Texas system, I think, it's happening in South Florida.
I thought it was twofold. The university charges the athletic department for the scholarships, so they don't have to. Now, they could absorb that money if they raised $600 million for UT Health. They can't peel off $10 million for football, right? I
don't know.
They can't absorb those scholarship dollars. Well, I just feel like there's got to be so many ways.
It depends on where your priorities are, Minix, and that's that depends on where those are. Right. So where are they? Is it more of that for UTSA and the administration there, or do they care about the winning football? So I don't know where the priority is there, but just going by the numbers you're spouting off there, I think that kind of tells you everything.
We've invited Taylor Amy on the show before, and every time he does interviews, he talks about wanting to support football. But I know he's not a Texas guy. He's very much an academic guy. I know getting UT Health was a big deal and his priority for a long time, and that's a hell of a deal, hell of a legacy. But at the same time, I'm looking for the actions, right? And when I see what these other universities are doing and what their presidents are saying and then actually putting that into motion, then I believe, okay, you're committed there. When you've got a head football coach that is constantly talking about needing more and he's put the basement down there at $4 or $5 million per year per roster, and that number is only going to get bigger, then I wonder if he wouldn't have to continually say that if he was getting that financial support from the school and not just go raise it yourself. What he say again? It was fun listening to him in the car because how many dinners does the guy need to go to?
A lot of rubber chicken, right?
Well, I mean, hopefully, I mean, if you're having dinner at a booster's house, it's probably good
maybe
food.
So, yeah.
But at the same time, the time commitment that takes, I would like to see Dr. Amy or Lisa Campos, but I do think it starts with the president, Dr. Amy, getting after it and getting everything done that needs to be done. Right?
Look, just look around the country. Or don't look at the American Conference. The support that the programs are getting in just that conference, where UTSA in many respects, at least from what we know now, is not. And other universities are putting a priority on this because they understand. I'm not saying President Amy doesn't understand, but I just don't know if it's a priority for him. And that's me saying that. And I'm just, look, that is your front porch. You get no better publicity than a football team that is on a winning run, a football team that is succeeding, a football team that is out there on television all across the country every Saturday. That is the best publicity the University of Texas at San Antonio can get. And it's got to become a priority. That's why these other schools are investing the dollars they're investing in their football program. And UTSA needs to get on board with that.
If you want success, you invest. If you're happy with 6-6 in a bowl game, and again, I don't know, you see different businesses run different ways, right? Some are just worried about bottom line and profits, and others are willing to spend money to go make money. It can't all be on Jeff Traylor to go raise or Lisa Campos to go raise. And I know they've got a staff and they do that, but all the money that universities had to go raise prior to the NIL era, all those expenses are still there. They've still got to go raise those money, and now they got to raise money for rosters. I don't think this is a sustainable way long-term of doing business. It is the way it's being done right now.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be in the sandbox, you might as well play, right? And that's the thing. And, you look around at all these schools and name a business that doesn't say, yeah, but $370 million in coaching salaries. If all the chaos, all the coaching changes, I mean, all the buyouts, the governor of Louisiana who was crying and bitching about, Kelly's buyout, and then look at the contract Lane Kiffin got, right? Make that make sense. Long article, but very detailed. All these different sources, all of it is pretty incredible in that way. But he knows what he's getting.
Well, of course,
and he knows what he's asking for. Although, he might not have known all the exact down to the wire. Here's the term sheet. Looks good to me. Let's go.
Yeah, he may not have known it.
Let's get on the plane.
He may not have known the private plane hours he's going to get and those kind of things. Maybe that's it. But that guy knew. He's too much of a gypsy not to. Having said all of that, I think it's funny because they're making fun of him in Mississippi. The police department there, he says he damn near got ran off the road on his way to the airport. They cry BS at that. They said there were no reports of anything like that. And so it's just a crazy thing. But again, I think, and Jeff Traylor mentioned this, and I think we've mentioned it. I think this Lane Kiffin thing is shining a light on the problems that there are with college football right now, with the calendar in college football. And I'm hoping that this high-profile coaching change will open some people's eyes and get some people talking and get this thing fixed.
Well, and you look at what we're going to have now, right? So we've got all the conference championship games, a couple of them on Friday night, and then all the big ones on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll know who's in the playoffs, and we'll get all the bowl selections. We'll find out where UTSA is going. We'll find out who's coming to San Antonio for the Valero Alamo Bowl. And you're going to find universities like Kansas State that have already said, we're not going to a bowl game. Don't invite us.
Wow.
All right. They had a players-only meeting or a player vote, and the vote was, we don't want to go to a bowl game.
Wow.
All right. I find that disgusting. Now, granted, with opt-outs and stuff, there will be teams that just can't go field a team, right? But at the same time, to just say, I just can't imagine those guys saying they don't want to have a bowl experience, but they don't have a coach. They don't have a coaching staff. To me, it's just weird, and it's unfortunate because bowl season is still fun. I know it's all about the playoffs now, but like Valero Alamo Bowl is always a ton of fun. UTSA getting to go to a bowl game, that's fun. It's a reward, and quite frankly, extra practice. And what I find interesting, and extra money. Place like Kansas State, probably, we don't need it. Because I don't know. It's just weird, but they're the first that apparently has opted out of a bowl.
Look, I would much rather them say, no, don't invite us, than to be invited to a bowl game and then half of your team shows up. There's nothing that bothers me more than that. If you make a commitment to a bowl game, you need to show up full team. But some guys aren't going to if they're trying to go to the draft, if they're entering the portal, whatever the case may be. And that's the problem for bowl games right now. It's going to be difficult for bowl games to stay relevant, I think. Now, for the Valero Alamo Bowl, I think they will, because I quite frankly think they should be a part of the college football playoffs.
And maybe next year when it goes to 16, they will be.
And they should be, because they do such a great job at the Valero Alamo Bowl that they should be a part of the playoffs. And can you imagine the excitement of having a college football playoff game right here in San Antonio? Man, I'd be geeked up about that. And I know a lot of people that would love to see something like that.
Now, as far as this weekend, you look at it and you go, will this weekend be chalk when it comes to the playoff games, or are you rooting for chaos? I kind of like a little chaos, although all the different scenarios, quite frankly, I don't see any way that Texas is able to sneak into the playoffs, to be quite honest.
No, I don't think so either. I think Texas is done. Speaking of bowl games, it looks like they're going to play Michigan in the Citrus Bowl. That's what seems to be everybody saying. Even Bob Ballou said that's what he's hearing as well when we talked to him yesterday. So we'll see how that plays out. Speaking of who's going to play and who won't, it remains. I think Miami still has a shot. If there is chaos, I think the Miami Hurricanes still have a shot to get in there. And I'm hoping like hell that there's enough chaos that Notre Dame is kicked the hell out. That's what I'm hoping. I would much rather see Miami in there than Notre Dame, because I think Miami deserves it more than Notre Dame does, just from a head-to-head standpoint. And I think if the committee's going to have any credibility, if it comes down to that, they've got to choose Miami over Notre Dame.
Again, but for that to happen, you would have to have Duke beating Virginia, right?
Right.
And who?
You probably need Georgia to take care of Alabama. You need BYU to lose to Texas Tech. And you need some of those things. Now, I don't think BYU can beat Texas Tech. I really don't.
Yeah, Troy upsetting JMU.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Although JMU not a guarantee, but it could keep a team from the American out of the playoff.
Could be.
The North Texas Tulane winner, because right now, JMU is ranked 19th and North Texas is 20 and Tulane is 21. But again, all those numbers are going to change, right? So if JMU blows the doors off of Troy, but if North Texas or Tulane wins in a blowout, would that be enough to jump up?
Well, and if Duke beats Virginia, there might not be an ACC representative.
Yeah.
And so
they put in Miami? Wink, wink.
Exactly. Yes, as a reward, or just to have that conference represented. It's going to be interesting, and I really do hope for chaos. I honestly do, and I want to see that, and I want to see some things happen and change. But it's going to be a fun weekend for sure. I like the conference championship games, Minix, but I could see a scenario where we get out of those, and let's have the playoffs start a little bit early.
Well, if Alabama loses and doesn't make the playoff, you'll have the argument for playing in a championship game, playing in that extra game cost them a playoff. Why would you want to do that?
Right.
Now, I still think, and I know I've said this for years, there needs to be the playoff for the Power Four, and then there needs to be a group of 5 playoff. And just like we've got in every classification in high school, we've got 2 state champions, 6A Division I, 6A Division II. Why can't we have basically your big school playoff, and that way you don't have a spot reserved for North Texas, let's say, and watching North Texas get drilled by Alabama by 50 in a week, kind of like what we saw with Boise State, and and there's enough TV money to make that happen.
Well, I think
there
absolutely.
is.
Yeah,
there is.
And I think that'd be a lot of fun. And it would give teams an opportunity that aren't the big boys to play and to have something to play for at the end of the year. I'm all for it. Look, there's nothing more exciting than, the Division II playoffs?
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Or the Division III, like UIW making runs, or when Sam Houston State won the national championship, or my kid's senior year there, that was a blast.
I don't know why the college football can't figure that out. But let's face it, the NCAA can't figure out anything at some times because they absolutely have no teeth at all and can't do anything. It's going to be a fun college football weekend. There's no question about that. Spurs are on a roll. They certainly are on a roll. So how would you feel about busting this team up to get a Giannis in here to San Antonio? We're going to talk about that when we continue live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Get on down here and watch the Cowboys and the Lions tonight. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Listen to this message I received.
First message.
This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Kinetico water softener, but getting all those Kinetico units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Kinetico wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Thanks again for installing our Kinetico. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit, and $400 off when you trade in your old water softener.
By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
License number 38961.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
George Gets Justice. 2026 is almost here, but that car accident you went through this year, it's still weighing on you. You may be hurt or unsure how to get help. You need to get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George understands the chaos you're experiencing, and he'll take care of you so you can step into the new year back in charge. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big game tonight, Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys in Detroit to take on the Lions. Two desperate teams hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive. Kickoff set for 7:15. You catch the Cowboys broadcast on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That begins at 6. National broadcast is on ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. That gets going at 6:30.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Live from the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We are happy to be here. We're getting close to game time. Cowboys and Lions. That gets going at about 7:15, but you need to get going right now because, look, if you get off work at 5 o'clock, there's no excuse. You need to get on over here, point in this direction. Come see us here at the Roo Pub. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
So much to get into tonight with Thursday Night Football. Cowboys and Lions. But I'll tell you what, let's talk some Spurs basketball. Another incredible win last night. And then, of course, trade talk involving the Freak. Let's start with what we saw last night. Second night of a back-to-back. And a 15-point lead evaporates. And it kind of just felt like one of those games that was going to get away from them, one of those bad losses. But Luke Cornett at the end with a massive block at the buzzer for a game-winning block.
Black to inbound it. Looking. Black goes to the rim. Wagner had time. And Cornett sends it out at the buzzer. And the Spurs escape Orlando with a dub as they mob Cornett.
Jacob Toby with the call on Spurs television, and it was the block and the immediate Usain Bolt pose. That was just, I jumped out of my chair when he hit that block last night watching the end of that thing.
Because he comes out of nowhere, it seems like. Comes right out of nowhere, perfect timing. He gets it done, and I tell you what, it was just fantastic. And watch the second half, most of the second half of that game, and it was one of those games that Spurs had control of, and then it kind of slipped away from them, and then Luke Cornett comes in and saves the day. That is a game, Jason, that the Spurs don't win last year. But they're winning them this year.
They are. I don't want to say the only disappointing thing. Nobody asked him about the pose. They just asked him about the block.
Yeah, I mean, we were just obviously trying to not allow any threes and then trying to, make a tough catch for two. I was just kind of on the weak side and saw the pass go to Wagner and just try to make a play. And fortunately, he had to kind of spin back. I feel like if he would have had just be able to straight him up, I wouldn't have been able to get there. But fortunately, I was able to get there and make the block.
Now, I don't know when he hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
But apparently he's questionable for tomorrow night's game against Cleveland with a left ankle soreness. Wemby and Castle are out tomorrow.
Already ruling them out. Maybe he got hurt during the celebration. That's a very possible thing because what I'd love to see, Jason, was the way and how excited the Spurs team were after that block. It just goes to show that these guys are hungry to win. They think they've got something special, and I just love the way that they did that.
Well, and listen to what De'Aaron Fox said about the resiliency of this basketball team.
Definitely. I mean, this is a game that you can look back at the end of the year, especially in this conference. You could be the 3rd seed or you could be the 8th seed. We could be 3, 4, maybe 5 games separates the teams, and it's games like this where you come back at the end of the year and you're like, could we have won this game? Could we have beat this team? And Orlando's playing extremely well. Won 9 out of their last 11. But we come in this building, we're a majority of the game, and then they end up tying the game at the end. And you're like, wow, we could have. We were up, I think, between 8 and 15 throughout the entire game. We couldn't get to 20, and they weren't, but we also weren't giving up the lead. So these are the type of games that you look at, and we call them mature wins because we could have easily came in here second half of back-to-back, getting in at 4 a.m. and just lost this game. But it definitely shows how resilient this team is, and we're continuing to build and trying to move forward.
And that's what's impressive about it. This is a game. Had they lost the game, you said, well, man, it's a back-to-back, late night, had to fly there after a game, and, you understand it. But the fact that they pulled something out and won is, to me, impressive.
Yeah, I like the term mature win.
Yeah.
And you think about all the kids on this team, and especially the last couple of years. I mean, they got to 15 wins already, right? They're 7-2 without Wemby this season. That is impressive and surprising.
And encouraging that they can do it. If he has to miss some time, they've got a deep enough team to get this thing done. Hopefully Wemby comes back, he's healthy, and he doesn't miss any more time. But I tell you what, it's the fact that they can do this, and they've got this kind of record without him, and Castle as well. So the 2 of those guys out, and to me, that's impressive.
Now, obviously, a lot of buzz about Giannis. Apparently, he's unhappy again in Milwaukee. And for whatever reason, the Spurs are being linked heavily. I know Bill Simmons and a lot of other people. Yeah. Now, granted, personally, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm not going to allow myself to get too hyped or excited because last time he was contemplating leaving Milwaukee, it seemed like all signs were New York. It feels like the league wants him in New York. And it doesn't matter if it's the Knicks or the Nets. It's just being in New York. If he comes to San Antonio, it will be because Giannis wants to come to San Antonio. You see reports all over the place that the Spurs have engaged conversations with Milwaukee. And as you put stuff in the trade machine, make sure it makes sense for Milwaukee. You can't send a couple of scrubs out to Milwaukee and nothing but picks and think you're going to get Giannis in return.
Well, that's true. But, Spurs fans are optimistic that you can pull the wool over any team's eyes out there.
That's delusional.
Well, yeah. Well, I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
But look, again, I don't think Giannis would want to come from a small market to a small market. That's just my gut feeling. I think he wants to go to a big city, bright lights, and do that. That's what I'm thinking. If he wants to get out of Milwaukee, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Again, they haven't started out well. He's been hurt now.
And got hurt last
again,
night.
So he's been hurt a couple of times. I know Giannis is a great player, but I think with what the Spurs have in place right now, the way they're playing, the way De'Aaron Fox is running this team, I just don't want to see him bust this thing up. Now, you bring in Giannis, your championship odds automatically go up. But I think this team can make a run. And whether they're good enough to win a championship or not, I don't know that. I still tend to think no, but I think we're gonna have some basketball in April and May for sure, and I'm excited about that.
Well, and you look at can you be this year if you were to pull a deal off, and who knows how quickly this could get done. My thought is it might take De'Aaron Fox and a couple of role players and a couple of first-round picks. I don't want to see De'Aaron Fox go, but the drafting of Dylan Harper makes that plausible. I mean, you made the trade with Sacramento to get De'Aaron Fox, and he wanted to come here, and you made a commitment to him, but you didn't plan on a Dylan Harper being available to you. Now that he is, and knowing that you have to give up something, I don't want to see him go, but I don't know of anybody besides Wemby that would be off the table, despite what you might read somewhere, because, again, if you're trying to acquire a guy like Giannis, it's going to take something of value. Now, the other part that we don't know is what does Milwaukee want? Maybe Milwaukee just wants a bunch of picks so they could rebuild on the fly, or do they just want to be competitive and, make it to the second round and out because, they still have other players there and sponsors and fans that they, have to look like they're trying. It kind of reminds me of, Portland with Dame Lillard. It's like, hey, we're second round good. We're not really finals good.
Well, I think that's what Milwaukee thought when they brought in Lillard, and that didn't work out too well. So, again, sometimes those things work, sometimes they don't. Giannis is a great player, and I think we all get stuck on Giannis in his 20s. Not to say he's still not a good player in his early 30s, but again, he's been hurt twice already this season. Is that a trend? Is that something to think about as you're thinking about a trade for Giannis? Everybody gets excited about it. I mean, heck, I'd love to see a Giannis in a Spurs uniform. It would be fantastic. It would be exciting. It would be all of those things. But I just don't want to see the future of this team busted up. I think they finally got it right. They've got a good mix of veterans and young players. And I just like the way this team is rolling right now. 3-point shooting still needed, although Harrison Barnes has been pretty good. Julian Champagnie has had his moments as well. Even Devin Vassell has had his moments from the 3-point stripe. So I just like the way this team is constructed right now. And I'm not as enthusiastic as some of you are when it comes to a trade for Giannis.
Looking at some of the comments on our YouTube page, and you can always comment there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, or you can old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can always talk. The other part, and a lot of people are talking about 3-team trades, 4-team. I mean, there could be multiple trades involved for Milwaukee to get what they want. That it's not a need to get a Giannis, right? It would be a want to. But if Giannis is interested, then you listen and you see if you can make it happen. I believe it was Jeff McDonald from the Express News that tweeted, Giannis holds all the cards here.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to come to San Antonio, you're wasting your breath. The other side of that too, though, so if he wants to come, you listen. And if he's trying to force his way to a certain spot, kind of like De'Aaron Fox was able to force his way here, and the Spurs didn't give up near as much as we thought they would for Fox, right? But he is expendable because of Harper. I don't want to see him go, but if that's what it takes. I don't want to see Harper go, but if that's what it takes. I think the only guy that wouldn't be off the table is Wemby, obviously, but that's a want. The need is still, for me, a sharpshooting 3-pointer. If they're in the trade business and they have all those picks, I still would like to see this Spurs team go get a more reliable three-point shooter.
Absolutely, I would as well. Giannis is a RPP, and if you can snag him without destroying this team, so be it. I just don't think that's going to happen, and I like the way this team is playing right now, and I just don't, at this point in time, don't see the need to bust them up. Again, I still think you need to add some pieces to this puzzle. I'm just not sure that it has to be the big piece that you have in Giannis. So, we'll see what happens. I just think that the Spurs are exceeding every expectation I think that any of us had. And I don't think there's anybody out there that can say any different. The expectations for this team have gone up tremendously. But at the start of the year, if anybody would have said, they're going to be 15-6 at this point in time, I'd have thought you were drinking, or smoking, or doing drugs of other kinds, or something, because it's just incredible.
Well, and again, you look at it, and you're right. Again, 15 wins already. A couple years ago, they didn't get to win 15 until game 68.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. They've exceeded expectations, and quite frankly, 7-2 without Wemby.
Incredible.
Credit the players. Credit Mitch Johnson. I mean, this is a far better start than I think most of us would have anticipated, especially when Wemby went down.
I think you'd been happy with 5-4 during the stretch without Wemby, but 7-2 is just oh my goodness. I hope everybody's made their picks in our San Antonio Sports, our SASportsStar.com, our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. I just saw Alexandra walk. I hope you made your picks because you're way behind, Alexandra, and I'm still up there near the top. So just saying. So everybody else is trying to knock me off.
Notice how he said near the top because he's not at the top anymore.
I'm one back. Everybody's trying to knock me off. You better make your picks and make them good. Maybe you ought to take a chance or two.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Cowboys play tonight. That's why we're here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. You need to get in here as well. This place is starting to fill up. It's going to be a party atmosphere in the Roo Pub, but it always is here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We're talking Cowboys. Get you ready for that big game with the Detroit Lions tonight when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Cowboys at Detroit Thursday Night Football. Add a little excitement to watching the game tonight by downloading the Underdog app and playing along on Underdog. The best place to get all your picks in and all the action, win money right here in Texas. And it's fun. It's easy. You look at player stats and you decide higher or lower. They've got Dak Prescott at 273.5 yards. Would you go higher or lower? Jared Goff's at 252.5. Gibbs, 80.5 rushing yards. Would you go higher or lower? That's what you're looking at. They got Jake Ferguson at 36.5. Would you go higher or lower? Build out and make your picks. Get all of them right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code STAR to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to SASportsStar.com now and register to win. SASportsStar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover the newest place to play at Top Golf New Braunfels, opening this Friday in the New Braunfels Town Center at Creekside. Top Golf New Braunfels features new games, food and drink, a 9-hole mini golf course, and half-off gameplay Monday through Thursday. Come play at Top Golf New Braunfels.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medishare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And Medishare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. Medishare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've been representing people injured in traffic collisions here in San Antonio for more than 30 years. After a collision, I've spoken to many people who wanted to believe that the other driver's insurance company would be fair and they really didn't need an attorney. They thought that the insurance company would pay their medical bills and do the right thing. I wish that were true, but trying to go it alone is a big, big mistake. If you have been injured, please know the other driver's insurance company has adjusters and attorneys working against your interest. If insurance companies were trying to get to heaven, I'd be out of a job, gladly. That is just not the world we live in, though. Call me as soon as you can if you are injured in a traffic collision. I do not charge anything to review your case with you. I'll tell you what you need to do and what you should not do. If you want a smart and fair result, you'll need to make smart decisions along the way. And that is what I do. You and I will make smart decisions for you and your family, and we'll get justice and fair results. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's Saturday. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's cash just because you are one of the first 100 in-store customers. Yes, visualize you at Kohl's as a winner. Plus, you'll also save up to 50% store-wide. It's all happening this Saturday at Kohl's. No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/6/25. One card per household. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I'm a good for a Vegas guy for about a 48-hour Vegas guy, and then I got to.
That's the right amount of time.
Yeah,
he's aged appropriately. That's the right amount of time. I'll tell you what, there's a show sounded awesome. I wouldn't recommend it, though. Thunder from Down Under. Yeah, I you went might in there. enjoy that. It sounded awesome at first, and then it was not what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, I might go there to scout. You know,
Yeah, you might find a tight
end.
I'll say this: there's a run stopper there. I saw a guy in a 3-point stance with both his hands on his hips. I don't know how this happened, but I saw that. Coach.
Oh man,
why were you in there? I told you I wasn't in the wrong place.
I needed the laughter. Hey, I needed the laughter today, guys. I appreciate it. Seriously.
Thanks, Coach.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy to be here at the Roo Pub, getting ready for Dallas and Detroit. And there's no better place to watch it on these massive screens here at the Roo Pub. We got a lot of people coming in, getting their dinner on, some drinks on. Well, they'll be ready for some good football.
The way you said getting their dinner on is alarming, my friend. That was
they're getting their dinner on, Minix. That's what's happening.
Okay.
We had lunch here today. It was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Always is. But they're getting their dinner on. How would you say? They're having dinner at a nice place.
This is an elegant place. They have cloth napkins, right? They got real forks. You're not getting a spork.
I'm not saying that.
I mean, it's just fancy. You're not getting it. You're having an elegant dinner.
Oh yes, right this way, madam. Sir, sit over here. I don't see any penguins walking around here seating people, and I
don't want to see anybody here walking around like a penguin because they're about to be in big trouble.
I'm sure we'll see that by the end of the night. Call a timeout, Dak, please.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Good stuff. It should be a hell of a football game tonight. What are you laughing at,
Pledge?
Dude, let me tell you something.
What?
Pledge sent something earlier.
Pledge didn't send that.
That wasn't Pledge? That was you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was him.
Minnick sent something earlier that laugh at.
Did you record that, Pledge?
No, I don't.
There is there's a video of a lion getting it on with a lioness. I don't know, 15, 20 people sitting around videotaping this, and the lion was making that noise just like Tony Romo.
I mean, it's what's going to happen to the Lions tonight. They are going to get screwed by the Dallas Cowboys and get a win.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That lion was making noises just like that. He was having a good time.
I'm so glad you didn't say just like me.
No, I didn't say just like me. No.
I thought that's where you were going.
No.
And his reaction when he was done, and then he just rolls over. I mean, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, he just rolled over and pushed her away. It's like, all right, I'm done. Take that walk of shame, baby.
Good Lord, Joe.
My goodness, how would you like
so
to
the
be,
Cowboys are
how would you like to be
underdogs
getting
tonight.
it on, and there's 20 people videotaping you?
There's a whole industry for that. It does happen.
I guess.
If you're on a safari where there's lions out, and it's like when you go to the zoo. I mean, animals are going to do what they do. They don't care if there's an audience. I know you.
What the hell would you do?
You would immediately whip out your phone if you saw that happening.
What are you going to go to a party and say, hey, look at this, what I got. Woo! Check out the lion and the noise he's making.
You would. You would. You would post it on Facebook. Hell, you'd even find for your MySpace account and put it on there.
Well, it'd be good on my MySpace account.
I mean, somebody put it on Twitter, and we sent it out. I mean, do you see that algorithm? And
now you're going to have a bunch of animals screwing on your algorithm.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy because that pops up after I was searching the Lions injury report, trying to figur out if Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be available tonight, and yet I get a video.
I saw him on the sideline trying to see if his ankle is ready or if he can go on it, but nobody said anything, so I'm not sure yet if that's the case. But
it's 5:30. We got time.
He was out on the field testing that thing out to see if he could make it go. Look, the Lions would love to see St. Brown go, just merely for the fact of the Cowboys would have to pay some attention to him if he's out there on the field. You have to.
Well, definitely, and but as gruesome as that looked on Thanksgiving, the fact that he's even out there. Now, I'm going to guess if he's out there, that dude can't feel his foot.
Probably not.
But how much would it slow him down? And then some of the other trick stuff, although it's funny, I saw something. I know coaches that are like this. We call them trick plays. They call them plays. But some of that stuff probably wouldn't be available tonight. Although I hope the Cowboys secondary isn't thinking that, because if he's out there, you've got to respect everything that he could potentially do. But a bum ankle's got to slow him down some.
Clarence Hill, our good friend from All Sport Dallas, is at the game, and he's got some video of Amon-Ra St. Brown on the sidelines. And Clarence said he's looking good in warm-ups, and he is. He's moving around pretty well. So it appears just from that. Now, I don't know what does he do. You got to go in. You got to make sure you keep that ankle warm. You don't want him to cool down because it's going to get tight and maybe swell up. So I don't know what they're going to do, but he is moving around pretty well and doesn't appear to have any ill effects, at least from the small things that he's doing there on the sideline. So I think the Lions are going to do everything they can to get him on the field. It's just a matter of what he'll be able to do once he gets on the field.
Now, Jane Slater from the NFL Network posts a video of him jogging around the field. And although she wrote sprinting, if that's his sprint, the Cowboys have nothing to worry about. It bodes well that he could play tonight. So all of us have sprained an ankle at some point.
Yes.
None of us are world-class athletes.
No.
But we've seen world-class athletes play through a sprained ankle. They are limited. And you wonder, can he run all the routes? Can he make that cut? Can he, passes a little bit high? Does he have the ability to make the jump that he needs to? Or more importantly, land and hang on to the ball?
Yeah.
Like if he plays tonight, cool. How limited will he be? He's nowhere near 100%. We know that.
No, absolutely not.
But is he go routes? But can he, drive down and then stop on a dime and come back? His plant foot, if he's thinking about it. Again, my guess is he probably won't even be able to feel his foot if he's playing tonight.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, they'll shoot him up where there's no feeling in that foot. I just for the Lions' concern, obviously, is can he go? And if he does go, is there any? I guess there's always a chance that he could get re-injured or injure it worse than it is now. And I think all of that they got to take into consideration, and that's what Dan Campbell's going to have to do. Because I guarantee you, Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to go into the locker room, go to Dan Campbell and say, dude, I can go. Let's go. I'm good. I'm ready. I can go. And then Dan Campbell's may have to say, we're going to call it a day. Because think about this. Although they've got to win this game, you try and get it done tonight. St. Brown's got 10 days then before their next game. So that's a call that Dan Campbell's going to have to make. And it's too bad for the Lions that they're in the shape that they're in, because if this game wasn't so important, I don't think there'd be any question he would not play.
Well, and that tells you just how important it is.
Yeah.
And, the old saying, if it were a playoff game, dude would play. Well, while it's not a playoff game, it kind of is, and it's that important of a game, really, for both teams. But I do think more important for the Lions, because you've got, you're dealing with the Bears, who are currently the 1 seed. You've got the Packers. The Cowboys, I don't want to say house money, because they need this one too. But at the beginning of this 3-game stretch, after that win over Las Vegas, knowing it was Philly, Kansas City, and then Detroit, they had to win 2 or 3. The math hasn't changed for the Cowboys when it comes to trying to get into the postseason, whether it be as a wild card or win the NFC East. If Philly falls off the cliff. Philly's schedule tells me they're not going to completely fall off the cliff. So the math hasn't changed. A win tonight, they will leapfrog Detroit in the standings, because both right now are in that graphic part where it says in the hunt.
Yes.
Detroit ahead of Dallas right now. They would flip-flop if Dallas is able to walk out of that building tonight with the dub.
Well, it's going to be a great game, and that's why I love this. As we come down to the end, it's going to be a lot of games like this. As you mentioned, Chicago and Green Bay, they play each other this week at Lambeau Field. So that's obviously one of those teams is going to walk out of there a loser, and that could make a difference. So it's going to be interesting to see, I tell you. And it all starts tonight with this game with Dallas and Detroit. And, boy, I'm ready for it. I just think it's going to be a fabulous game. Hopefully it's a fabulous game, and whoever wins. Dallas looks like the team to bet on. Certainly they're getting 3 points, but you just never know.
Yeah, 3.5, depending on where you are. I just saw, I guess ESPN bet's gone. Whatever it is now, they just put on TV plus 3.5. So, I mean, but they're underdogs on the road.
Yes,
and that whole, you get 3 points for being a home team says it's about even.
It's about a pick 'em.
We also have a very confident Dak Prescott going into tonight's game. Jane Slater tweeted out earlier that she asked Dak what he remembers from the last time they were in that building. He said, quote, that we lit them up, a lot of passing yards, about to do it again. She said, can I quote you on that? He said, sure. And again, that's a reporter who's built a relationship with a player where he would give her an answer like that. And yeah, tweet it out. He doesn't give a damn.
You'd much rather have him say that than, I don't know, we're scared. And
I mean, but he didn't give some cliche.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about what happened last time. That was years ago. I'm just focused on tonight. He didn't do that. That's a confident quarterback and a great answer. I love that. And again, with CeeDee Lamb, with George Pickens playing the way they are, why wouldn't you be confident?
Absolutely. You're right. By the way, my app has gone to 3.5. It was 3 all day, and now it's up to 3.5. So I'm wondering, that means there's money being bet on the Lions tonight.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games that is going to be interesting. It is certainly going to be interesting.
Well, as my buddy Brian Carson just texted me, this has all the hallmarks of the Cowboys poop in the bed type of game.
Well, it could be.
He didn't say it quite that way, but You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, and the Cowboys are not immune to something like that.
Yep.
Especially this team on a roll like this, and you got to figure it's so hard to win out. I don't expect the Cowboys to win every game moving forward. So what's going to be the loss, and where's it going to come? Will it come tonight or later, or will they do what I think is near impossible and run the table? It's going to be interesting to see. We're talking about it here at the Roo Pub. This place is getting anxious. I can see in everybody, they're excited, they're ready for this football game, and it's going to be a fun place to watch. You need to get here as well. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, that's where we are. We'll get you ready for it when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And there's no better place to watch any big game, any big fight than right where we are right now. The Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And come hungry. The food here is fantastic. So get your dinner on. I know for lunch, I had the fried shrimp because it's fantastic. Ryan Eagle had a burger. They got the biggest and best wings in town. James Pledger tells me the salads here are wonderful, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch tonight's Cowboys Lions game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The NBA season's rolling, and DraftKings' newest game, Pick 6, is the easiest way to play for your shot at big wins. NBA stars are lighting it up. Now their numbers aren't just highlights, they're your shot to cash in. Here's how it works. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Pick, play, cash in. win. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Hey, it's the holiday season and nothing beats warm coffee, cool mornings, and that festive locker room excitement. It's in the air. Hey, it's Rob, and I'm reminding you that Blue Bonnet Bunkin' Biscuit has their Black Friday deal, and it's going on now. Choose 3 doggy daycare packages available through December the 5th or until spots run out, and they're running out fast. With over 17,000 square feet of pet partying paradise, more than an acre of play outside, plus training and spa treatments, there's no better place. It's a winter wonderland of fun for your furry family members. Call 210-750-1298 today. Call them now. They're filling up fast for the holidays.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Baba, how many affiliates do we have?
66.
Do you think that's right, or are you guessing? He's guessing.
Well, we pick them up, we move them, we drop them.
They drop us. But we normally get kicked off. When we have a problem with the station, it's the first day.
We don't always get our show canceled, but when we do, it happens pretty quick.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, getting ready for the Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. The coverage right here on 94.1 begins at 6 o'clock, right after the Blitz, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Hornitos Tequila and
the Jeff Davis Law Firm, Jim Beam.
Thank you. See, that's teamwork, man.
Connecticut. Good job, Joe.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, the national broadcast over on ESPN AM 1250 and at 94.5 FM, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And again, you look at tonight's game, the anticipation of it, because it does have that playoff feel, that big game feel, which is great because you think about, all the championship games coming up in Saturday, Friday night. There's a couple of them. This kicks off that great weekend.
Yeah, it really does, and I'm anticipating a good game. Again, the Lions are favored by 3.5. That line just came up. And it appears, at least according to Jeremy Fowler, that Amon-Ra St. Brown is good to go.
All the videos suggest that.
It does, and he says in a tweet, Jeremy Fowler does, that as St. Brown walked off the field, he gave him a thumbs up indicating that he was going to play. Now, there's nothing official from the Detroit Lions yet, so we don't know that, but it appears that he's at least going to give it a go tonight, and that's certainly good news for Detroit. And something else for the Cowboys secondary to think about.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, they have to make it official at 6 o'clock, and we'll be a beer in by then.
Yes.
But right now I'd count on him playing, and then you just have to look at the effectiveness of what he is able to do. And I know that affects what the Cowboys are thinking, but I'm sure there's people right now that are anticipating and waiting because they might have him in their fantasy lineup.
Absolutely, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, and you go from there. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Trey, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Fellas, thank you for taking my call. And I
I know you probably never met a superstitious athlete before, but I called last week, told you we're going to beat the Chiefs by 6, and we only won by 3. So I apologize. But I still think Jerry needs his flowers.
Damn.
I apologize. And Jerry, I think we still need to give Jerry his flowers. And to hear Ryan Nagel talk about Jerry Jones possibly winning the Executive of the Year yesterday just made my day. That made my day, Joe. Joey's coming around. I love it. I absolutely love it. But the news about St. Brown changes my mind a little bit. I was going to say 34-24, but 27-20, Cowboys all day. And I just want to say Dak's my quarterback and get off my Dak. Dak is the man. And we're going to make this happen tonight. I'll be back next week to remind y'all that people need to stop hedging their bets. You need to get on and get off the bandwagon. No more room after this week. You're either in or you're out.
Trey, I don't know if your ankle's worse than St. Brown's with your hopping on and off that bandwagon. I mean, but I'm glad that Dak's your quarterback today.
That's a great phone call, man.
Yeah, it was.
Great phone call.
That was great. Although he said 6 and he was only 3. Dude, he's got to be better. Now he's going with a 7-point win tonight.
So, all right. So that means he would, if he was a betting man, and I'm not sure whether he is or not, he's taking the Dallas Cowboys tonight with the points.
Well, again, what you say and how your money goes can be two very different things.
That is absolutely true.
How confident would he be with $100 on the line? Right.
Well, how confident is anybody with $100 on the line?
That's what I'm saying.
It's one of those things, Jason, that I tell you, I honestly, I don't do cardio. I'm not a believer in it. I think it's overrated. So
cardio, huh?
I go to the gym and I'll lift some weights, but
and you talk. You talk to a guy named Ray
and talk. And,
I don't know if you actually lift weights.
Well, either way, it's what I do, and so my cardio is gambling. Because nothing gets my heart racing more than a game coming right down to the wire when you got some bucks and that makes the heart beat.
Yeah,
it does. It does. So I don't know. I haven't made a bet on this game yet. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't go to 3.5. I like Detroit plus or minus the 3, but the hook worries me a little.
Brandon Aubrey.
I know it. That hook worries me a little bit. So I don't know what I'm going to do just now, but I'll have it figured out before 7:15.
Well, then that's it. You need a drink or two.
Well,
and
liquid courage.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean,
no doubt.
And our group chat will let us know later tonight which way you went.
Yes.
Because my goodness. And you look at Dak and, back in the MVP conversation. I mean, hell, Dan Orlovsky has been saying all day on all the ESPN shows, he thinks Dak Prescott can have his MVP moment tonight.
I lean Dallas. I would try to win Dak the MVP tonight if I was Dallas.
Ooh.
If Detroit wants to line up and play man coverage,
which they have, last 3 games, 70% man coverage.
I'm going to throw it 40 times. You cannot cover my 2 guys. And I'm totally comfortable. I'll put George by himself. I'll put CD opposite. You want to cover George one-on-one? Great. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL one-on-one versus man. If you want to double team him or play, I'm going to throw it to CD Lamb. I think it'll be interesting. I think the most important person tonight is Kelvin Shepard, who's the DC for Detroit. You can't line up and play man. Will you change? Will you play some zone? I would challenge Dallas to run the football and then try to play elite red zone defense. Does Brian Schottenheimer want to hand it off 40 times? I'm not letting you throw it that much if I'm Detroit. But if Detroit wants to line up and be who they are, I'm gonna throw it 40 times because you can't cover me.
Well, and what he's saying is true, but then again, there's that stat when Dak throws 40 or more times, it's usually not good news for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would pay attention to that if I was Shotty. When he got around 37, 38, you're handing it off left and right. It is a Thursday. And you know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We get you ready for the weekend. We call it What's on Tap, and it is brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their entire calendar and their menu. They've got Third Eye tomorrow night, Friday night, a tribute to Tool and a Perfect Circle. Saturday night, Briscoe. On Sunday, Let It Rock, a Bon Jovi tribute band.
Elsewhere tonight, of course, here at the Roo Pub, the game is going to be happening here, and you need to get out here. This is the place to be. Other than that, Gary Clark Jr. is out of Green Hall. He says it's sold out, but nothing is sold out. Majestic Theater, La India Yuridia.
What?
Yeah, that whatever. And at the LOL Comedy Club, The Magic of Eric Eaton. Tonight.
Friday night, Green Hall has Kyle Park. Flores Country Store has Josh Turner. Aztec Theater, Jesse and Joy, the El Despecho Tour or something along those lines.
Despecho.
The Vienna Light Orchestra is at the Majestic Theater. Tommy Emmanuel's at the McCombs Empire Theater. Mark Broussard and Taylor Ray at the Stable Hall at the Pearl. Paper Tiger has Axe and the Hatchmen. And apparently that is sold out.
Wow.
Moody Center has WWE SmackDown Live. Vibes Underground has Eyes Set to Kill. And Pledge put on here in the Alamo Dome, you have Smithson Valley and New Braunfels playing in a big-time playoff game. That would be huge. Of course, Pledge put that one on there because he went to Smithson Valley. I know Johnson has Lake Travis up at Bobcat Stadium. So if you want to sit in the cold, go up to Bobcat to see good football. If you want to be in perfect weather climate, Smithson Valley, Rangers and Unicorns in the Alamo Dome.
Well, that's kind of a rivalry anyway, isn't it?
It
is.
And I know Alamo Heights has a lot of good high school football left in the area.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, Saturday night at the Frost Bank Center, Pitbull versus Roach, Premier Boxing. Out at Freeman Coliseum, you've got, the X Tour, Xavier.
Sure.
I'm not sure what that is. In the Alamo Dome Saturday night, Vandergrift versus Dripping Springs, little high school football playoff action there. Charlie McCombs Empire Theater, the Children's Ballet of San Antonio presents the Polar Express. And then, boy, a good one at Green Hall on Saturday night. An evening with Jerry Jeff Walker music featuring Django Walker and the Jerry Jeff Walker Band. That will be a lot of fun.
So basically, Django is going to fill in for his dad who passed away,
yes.
but the band still has bills to pay, so they're out doing stuff.
Well, absolutely.
And Django's a cool dude, man. Go watch that. That'll be fun.
And Jerry Jeff Walker music is just outstanding. Stable Hall at the Pearl on Saturday night. Hayes Carl, Grateful for Christmas tour. You've got Boeing Center at Techport. WWE presents NXT Deadline. The Vibes Event Center for I'm assuming it's Fit for a King. And then Adam Ray is at the LOL Comedy Club. Sunday, Green Hall has Shelby Ray Marshall. There's ever been a band name that sounds like they need to be at Green Hall, it's Shelby Ray. Absolutely.
The Bouncing Souls are at the Vibes Event Center. Randy Rogers is doing a cool gig out at Fry Hike Country Store on Sunday.
Nice.
Adam Ray at LOL Comedy Club.
Monday, there's even stuff going on. Chris Max is out of Green Hall on Monday. So a big weekend of stuff. And then, of course, there is football galore all over the place all weekend long. So it's going to be a fun weekend for just about everybody.
And again, tomorrow, we're going to be out at the Rocket Lock Ontario.
Yes.
We will have Spurs tickets to give away. And all the reaction to what we see tonight, Cowboys and Lions. And, of course, get you ready for Spurs at Cleveland as they're having that big watch party out at the Rock tomorrow, Rocket Lock Ontario. Monday, the Blitz is going to be live at the Topgolf in New Braunfels. What's on Tap? Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online, samsburgerjoint.com.
All right, Jason, we just got a couple of minutes left in the show here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Your thoughts tonight and a prediction from you, young man.
I like the Cowboys in this one, and I've changed. A couple of weeks ago, I was worried the Cowboys would get destroyed. But the way they played the last couple of weeks, I do want to see the offense score more than they did against Philadelphia and Kansas City. And I think they're going to have to be closer or over 30. They're second in the league in scoring at just under 30 points a game, 29 and change. I do think they're going to have to get north of 30 to be able to get a win tonight at Detroit.
Well, I like that prediction. Look, everything tells me in my gut, my brain, everything that the Cowboys are going to win this football game tonight. I just don't think the Cowboys are going to run the table. So what game is that going to be that they're going to not play well and get beat? I think it's tonight. And I think the Detroit Lions are the more desperate team tonight. They have to win. Even though they're banged up, they get Amon-Ra St. Brown back. I think that's going to make a big difference. They run the football, and I like Detroit.
Now, as we say that, Amon-Ra St. Brown officially active tonight, but Jadeveon Clowney officially inactive tonight. So he was one that came in questionable, dealing with a hamstring injury. And I guess when he went through his pregame warm-up, they decided he would not be able to go. The Cowboys probably anticipated that. They elevated a defensive end from the practice squad earlier today, but no Clowney tonight. And that's a dude that's been playing well.
He has.
And when you think about how good this Cowboys team has been the last 3 weeks in stopping the run and getting after the quarterback, Clowney has been a big part of that. And when you look at Gibbs and you look at Montgomery and their ability to run, that is going to be a big test for Eberflus in that defense tonight.
And look, Jared Goff is not a guy that's fleet of foot. If they're going to get after a quarterback, it's going to be Jared Goff. And I think the Cowboys will have an opportunity to put some heat on Jared Goff, make him throw the football quick. I still like Detroit to try and run the football. We'll see what happens. It all gets started right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 6 o'clock. Be sure and tune in early tomorrow morning for First Reaction with the fellows on the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob. Boy, until then, get down here to the Roo Pub. Get yourself something to eat, a cold beer, because it is football time here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com.